have favoritism, specifically my mother.
You only child?
No, he's the middle child.
I'm the middle child in both families.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, my bad. They don't fuck with you.
Dog. And the great thing is, I'm literally in the same. Rob, you also a middle child, right?
No, I'm the oldest.
Yeah, it might just be the destiny of the middle child and the oldest to be treated the worst. Mainly the middle child, because every single film where I've seen the middle child, they always forgotten about. I didn't even know. I didn't even know my
You ever
parents.
seen Malcolm in the Middle?
Don't talk about that.
What do you mean? That's a perfect example.
We don't talk about that. I feel bad for my nigga, bro.
That nigga's lifestyle. Or you ever seen Everybody Hates Chris?
You know what? Never mind. I'm not gonna say nothing. Yes, yes.
Cause that's like all the proof you need about middle child syndrome.
And I'll be hit that. I remember whenever I don't know. I guess my mom then had put me in a hospital after, because I was like, you know what? I got a plan. I was causing trouble so I could get away from them, because I wanted to go live with my dad. Portland, Texas. So yeah. Whenever she ran anything down to the hospital, she told me, I said, "Do you want to talk about it?" I'm talking about. I said, "Talk about what? Talk about all the trouble you're causing." And I said, and she said, "Like, what's your problem? What's your problem?" I'm like, "You have favoritism. You have favoritism." She said, "No, I don't." I was about to say something, but then at the time, who's technically was my stepdad, 'cause I'm pretty sure they weren't married. If they were, I wouldn't even know about it. But yeah, my little brother, my half brother's father, yeah.
What up, Yada?
He stopped me, and I'm like, you know what? Never mind. And I promise you, if he didn't stop me, I would have said the most crazy thing. Got the audacity to say, I don't have favoritism. Hold on. You know what? Never mind. Never mind. Was that? But I remember every single act of favoritism in that house. You're not about to tell me nothing.
What's up, Yada? We got school today.
So it's actually in what 30 minutes from now? Less than 30.
Right? Wait, what? I thought it was at 6.
She says at 5.
I thought she said 6.
That's what I thought too, but I think she was going off of our time. Cause I thought she said 3 her time, and then she went to and then that's why I was like, oh, that means 3 her time means, or 3 her time would be 5 our. Oh, it is 5. Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Yeah, yes we got school.
We got school today.
OP, you gotta hop on Final Fantasy. Man, I was trying to get some other games in.
I was running updates on it. I can't really do much. What?
I downloaded Gary's mod.
We have to buy that, right?
What you say?
We have to buy that, right?
Yes, it was like $5.
Oh.
That's cool.
Shit is retarded.
The chaos that is Gary's mod.
How'd you get animated in it? I might actually look into that.
Okay, it's kind of funny actually.
Isn't that how they make that coconut cream pie? Me. Shower me in coconut cream pie.
How you feeling today?
Wait, Splash. I have a question for you. Are you an only child?
Yes.
What is you, the oldest?
I'm the only child.
Lucky.
Technically make me the oldest.
Lucky.
And the youngest.
Lucky?
Yes, nigga.
How does it make me lucky?
I remember that one time you told me you're the older sister. That shit had me confuddled for 5 years.
Nigga, I was lonely. I had no one.
You're luckier than me at least.
I had to force myself to make friends. How you think I met Rob?
I forced you to be friends with me. That's reversed.
Yeah.
I approached that nigga and said we friends now. Nope.
The monkey ball is no longer at your disposal.
Yeah, I can't make them up. It was one of those extroverts and introvert situations. I was the strange mixed bag. I'm not gonna lie. Cause I had extroverted attitude, but I had introverted activities.
Hobbies.
Yeah, hobbies, right? Like the shit I would like to do, it requires you to be by yourself, but I always like showing it to other people. It's so weird. Like, I'm not saying that like I won't go out and see people. It's just that it's not the top on the priority list. But if you take me out to party, I'm gonna party. I go clubbing more often than y'all think. Yeah, I party. I just like it's just not high on the priority
Yeah,
list.
after the Friday, after the Saturday and Sunday event, I know.
It's funny, but I definitely don't like clubbing.
Like I go to like anime clubs where like they cosplay and
I'm
stuff.
yeah, like I'll
I'm usually the
I'll
host,
leave,
funny
like,
enough.
you just gotta let me know whenever you gotta leave. You know, like, you need 5 seconds. Get dressed real quick. You know what I'm saying? Cologne, deodorant, all that. At most, it'll take me a minute to get ready. That's the most.
Dash, you can no longer dash on overkill.
For,
Instead,
for
be fire
me,
trying to hop by a laser.
it's one of the
Yo,
reasons why,
that's
like,
sick.
if I ever get married, I'm gonna hit my girl with the look. You better, if you
Double the
take
cooldown,
more
double the
than
maximum
10 minutes to get ready, I'm leaving. I'm not better wait the entire
cooldown.
30 minutes to an hour for you to get ready.
Yo, that's sick.
So it is what it is.
Follow simultaneous affected by power stroke combined will recall all of these effective against stacks. Yeah, because basically this was like a Wolverine build, so I cut through people and do my damage that way and slow down time. They said fuck all that shit. You get a unibeam now, and you get
That's fine.
level 1 from Marvel 3. Here comes the brick one. This is not Final Fantasy. Yes, it is. You don't believe in the fantasy.
What you playing, by the way?
I gave this to you. This is what is this? My fault.
Oh, Battle Shapers.
Yeah, Battleship. Yeah, this is.
I was looking at the title, looking at the title of the stream. And I was like, wait, this is a Final Fantasy.
Let me change it. Yeah, I play this a lot offline.
But yeah.
And
After
I'm about to start
after
playing
causing
the
all
shit out
that,
of Haste too. I'm about to play the shit out of
after
Haste. It's got
causing all that
multiplayer.
trouble,
It's over.
Yeah, I'm about to try and get it now.
I'm about to start racing niggas, bro. It's a wrap.
so yeah, after causing all the trouble that I did. Wait, what the? Ooh.
I gotta get Haste. I gotta get Hyper Light Drifter. I gotta get a bunch of indie games.
Oh shit! Hold on. Give me 1 second. I kept tweaking. I think you had a word.
After all the trouble that nightmare caused, I'm here. And to be honest with you, 50-50, I have regrets. Kinda, not really. What I did to get here, 50-50 regrets, I have no idea. Kinda not. So I'll put that. How's Zach? Yo, Splash, how's Zach?
Was that good? He barking in the background.
How about Noah?
No, fine. He was upset earlier. He had to take a
Yeah.
nap, and he tired. He was tweaking, crying and shit.
Okay.
I said,
I'm
go
back.
to sleep. You'll feel better. I
What-
never understood the ideology. I never understood the logic with some babies where it's just like, damn, I'm tired. I'm gonna scream my head off because I can't. I'm tired, and I'm like, nigga, go to sleep. And I said, I can't. I'm tired. I'm like, what?
The luck is that.
It's like I'm hungry. Here's a sandwich. I can't eat. Why? Because I'm hungry. I'm like, you can't win with that type of. You can't win. It's never that simple.
And to think at one point, that was most of us.
Yeah.
Ain't that crazy?
I was told I was a quiet baby. And it was like harder for like people to deal with me because I never made any noise, so they would lose track of me and I would just get into some shit. I think that's where I got it from. Like whenever I don't like, if people don't know what I'm doing or see what I'm doing, they just lose track of me. Then I come back with some brand new shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Basically, you tell them, yeah, what's tired? I don't know
What
what
you
tired
mean,
is. I'm crying because I can't figure out why I'm feel so sleepy. You're tired. What's tired? They don't understand the concept of feeling fatigue or tiredness.
What the fuck
They
is a
just
vault?
they feel weird, so they cry about it.
The funny thing is, science is out here testing on babies if they're gonna be scared of snakes and spiders whenever they still like whenever they're pretty much just born, and they tested on a 1-year-old. Yeah, that the baby was scared of the spider and the snake off of pure reflex, and I'm like, "Man,
I don't understand how you
so
gonna
wait a minute."
test a baby if they're gonna be afraid of spiders and snakes at a baby at that, because they don't know what it is. You gotta know what
To be
something is
honest,
to be scared of it, unless it just doesn't look pleasant.
the spider don't look pleasant. I can understand that.
Right, right.
I don't
But
know
if you
about the
show,
snake though.
but
I don't know about the
if
snake.
you put a tarantula in front of a toddler, it's not going to know what it is. It's just going to stare at it and be like, "Oh,
Food.
what is that object?"
And then if it moves, probably it's either gonna follow it or it's gonna run away. One or the other.
Yeah, yeah. It's like the whole interaction with children. When children see new things, they just going to either try to touch it, grab it, or bap it,
Or eat it.
or yeah, or eat it.
Bad. Ew. Ooh, yeah. I don't know who put that baby in that experiment. I would have hit him with the craziest side eye. You put your baby in there? Yeah. You brave. Me personally, I could
We
never.
should scare the baby to death, traumatize it sooner than later. Unlucky.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You.
I knew it. I knew it had to be
Yeah.
unlucky. I knew it.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
just thinking that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
you,
is why we don't invite you places.
You a
You a
straight
strange
tier 1 criminal.
Like that's a nice thing. What if I ruin it? Is like your first thought to everything. Like we just cannot have a night thing when you're around. I don't know what's up with you, bro. You having fun? No. But you can join us in the fun. You don't gotta be like this.
His mindset is, I'm going to scare a pre-adolescent child to.
We can be normal. It's a thing we can do. I am confused because Nightmare literally said, "Show spiders to kids to prove they're scared." He was talking about a study. He didn't say he was going to do it.
What would I do?
That's
You know what?
way
Never mind.
different.
It's an evil world we live
I'm
in.
not that type of evil.
Y'all funny as shit.
My thing is, like, I don't know about testing it on a snake. I can somewhat see a spider. For me, it had to either be a jumping spider or like a wolf spider. No, oh wait, I said wolf spider. Ooh, tarantula. I've been playing too much grounded.
What do you really think is scarier, a wolf spider or a tarantula?
I think you're thinking of it in extreme form, Unlucky. I'm pretty sure they either showed it to him in a container or they showed a picture to him or like a video.
They had it in a container.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they didn't just put the baby's hand out and put a spider in it. Like that, they wildin' if they did that.
So yeah, no. I don't know. It depends.
Depends on the body.
More than likely,
the baby.
More than likely for me. No. He asked what do you think would be scarier, a wolf spider or a tarantula? Me personally,
I think it's gonna be the wolf spider because everybody's somewhat conditioned to a tarantula.
I wouldn't put that I wouldn't put that motherfucker in my hands though.
Right. But it's just like,
if I see tarantula,
that's like the
I'm
devil
what's
we
going
know
on?
type of thing.
But the thing that makes me more like cautious whenever it comes to a tarantula, like I'm not scared of them, but I'm more scared of their counterpart. The old world. There's two different types of them. I'm over here finding out that there's two different types of tarantulas. The old world and the new world tarantulas. The ones that are bright or that are dark. The normal ones, the fuzzy ones that we.
I'm Genji from Overwatch.
There's old world variations
Set up
that's still
Genji
alive.
from Overwatch.
A big old, like bright light. It's gonna go once I kill you.
Do I have overkill?
So it is what it is.
Oh, that's great.
But more likely the spider. A spider that isn't fuzzy, it just make me mad, bro. I just hate them. I find it funny. Most of the fuzzy spiders are always the chill ones. Ain't that something?
The puppy spiders.
Man.
It's almost time for fight school.
I'm not gonna lie, I forgot. We have to join that Discord?
I don't know. We just gotta show what Spooky said. We gotta show up to
To the house?
the plot where the house at.
Was like a clan event or something?
Nah, it's summer school.
For Final Fantasy, basically.
You skip it.
I'm not skipping.
I was gonna yell at Scooby and Star to get on since they.
Nah, Claudia McDoo might be there.
So if I do actually get into the Final Fantasy, was it 14?
You saying if you can't just start right now?
Yeah, I'm currently being a block connoisseur on Minecraft.
It's on her data center. Okay.
But yeah, I want to make
Oh,
a
shit, I
Doctor
ain't
Doom
gonna skip
build
that.
of Victor Von Doom.
I'm a ninja. Real ninja hours. I wish I could save this.
The Victor Von Doom build in Final Fantasy 14. The funny thing is, I'd most likely be just flipping the cape 24/7 instead of wiping out the entire field of enemies to farm XP. I'm just gonna be farming aura.
Yeah, we're not bringing you to raids.
Oh,
Thanks for letting us know in advance you go sabotage the shit.
If it was a raid, I'd take it seriously. But if it's just a casual fighting, I'm probably gonna be aura farming the entire time. Don't type in chat.
Oh shit! I didn't even have chat up. Oh shit! I'm sorry.
Real ninja hours.
Hey, yeah, ain't gonna lie. Us Virgil fans took an L today, man. Technically yesterday. They took down Bury the Light. His theme song is going off of YouTube. Dang, bro.
Why'd they take it
Don't listen
down?
to
Copyright?
Other DSPs.
I have no idea why they took it down. What you say? Smart.
A real Virgil
You
fan
don't
downloaded
listen
this.
to it through other DSPs.
Other places that you can
Yeah.
listen to music.
If I want to listen to it, I'll most likely put it on either Spotify or just play the game. Because anytime you enter combat with Virgil and you get an S plus rank, and you start getting an S plus style meter, the song starts to play. So yeah.
Oh, they bullshit me.
I need to learn DMC4 Dante though.
You would have learned it if you could.
Oh, my Scooby 19 is rated.
No, Rob.
Did I just get
It's
rated?
not that. There's only
He
one
passed it
reason
back.
why.
He passed it back.
Y'all
There's
funny
only
as
one
shit.
reason why.
Scooby! Thank you for the raid. You just baton passed that shit back to me.
You gotta
I
put
went
the link in
upstairs, got
chat.
some lunch, took a shower, came back, and I got baton passed the shit back. Hey, that's
He
what's
kept the
up.
chat warm for you, bro.
He kept the chat warm. I fuck with it.
I love this build. I don't want to get off. Fuck. I'm a
Wait,
ninja.
how was stream? I think I had you in the background on the other tab. I was working.
Something.
Alright.
I guess I died on time. Man.
Just finished Mass Effect 1 and started 2. Oh, okay. Yeah. I think
Never heard of
Mass
Mass
Effect
Effect
1
in a
to
minute.
me, I think I like skimmed through most of it. 2 I had fun, but 3 I played the most out of because of the multiplayer. I'm still mad they didn't put that in there.
Hold on a second. I think I got my headset on.
And then I
Mass
like
Effect was always
I do.
interesting.
and then I played Andromeda, but I dropped that shit.
And they look too real. I ain't like that.
You said they look too real?
Yeah, one of them looked like somebody I knew from high school.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and
Yo.
like one of the main girls. I'm not gonna say her real name, but I used to call her Jack Note because of how it was spelled.
I feel like give someone an hour, they could probably find out what the actual name is.
Yeah, Jack Note. She had a weird spelling name. If you read it out loud, it's spelled Jack Note.
Damn, the whole Weeaboo coalition out. They got the Weeaboo special ops.
And they update what the
My God, Chunk is back. They chilling.
So visit another world server. Is Dynamis? Dynamis. Is that in Hold up. Where's Spooky from?
Come
I know I
back.
have it. I know I have it. It's in Seraph, that's what. Do I have Seraph? I don't have Seraph. Do I gotta like log out? Log out?
Yeah, I think when you switch servers, you gotta like switch servers, then log out, and then log back in.
Oh, okay. So like, let me log out and
And I think you like right click your name and then switch servers that way, if I remember correctly.
oh yeah, because we was in Primal, she's in Dynamis, and then Seraph. Okay.
What up, Scooby? We on our way to class. Oh no, I'm gonna be late, and I gotta get like a piece of toast. Put it on
Shit. Wait a minute. I fucked up. Primal? Hold on. Let me go back to Primal real quick. Pony, I gotta see how you do it.
Okay.
Cause it's like I go to Primal. It's like I'm not in Primal. We gotta go to Dynamis. And then we just hold up. It's like I did this before. It's been a minute though. Oh, it's Dynamis, Seraph. Press start and square in your character. Oh,
Good morning. You have my
okay.
permission. You know, it's probably only gonna be me and Splash anyway. Everybody else is either working or working.
Visit. I can. It's only telling me go to Excalibur now. What?
Main password incorrect. That's the only one I got.
Data center. Okay, let me return.
My ninja time is over. Be a real ninja. Real ninja
I'll
hours.
return to home first.
Is it under Final Fantasy though?
Unable to.
Flight school starts in 2 hours. You posted it at 3. Right now it's 4. You gonna hack
Okay.
my account. You know you gonna play the game.
Hold up, wait a minute. Let me try it again.
For my
Return
home
to
is
home
not
world.
in
Unable to
Stormwood.
return to home world this time. Go into the world and log out again? Okay. It's been a minute since I've done this.
Just for the thrill of it. I'm just
Oh, yeah,
doing
change your
crime for
title, by the
crime
way.
shit. We got my title? Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we finna. You bring your school books. You bring your backpack.
By the way, there will be a
God.
voice chat for you guys want to listen or ask questions. You don't have to
Go
talk
ahead
on
and
my
start
chat.
installing 14 today.
Okay. Data
Nightmare
center,
gonna
right?
main monk. I can see it now. Oh, you gonna main pugilist.
Yo, what the? No, why am I gonna be one of you people?
It said Dynamis, and what was the other one?
I don't.
What was the other server I had to join? It was Dynamis and what?
It's Dynamis and Seraph.
Seraph, okay.
All right. So
I know Splash got in here with the craziest.
I don't think I
okay,
did
so
that
I'm.
right.
So you said go to change
I
data
don't think I
center.
did that right.
I'm about to get down.
First, log out from your home world. Bro, I just did that.
You ought to start and then press square in your character's name. Oh. Mario Dynamis.
You still telling me I gotta log out? Okay, here it is. All right, there it is. I got it.
Wait, I fucked up.
Is
Wait,
it data center?
I switched data centers, but I didn't bring my character. Fuck. Fix me hold.
From primal to. I think I got it.
The square. Oh, visit another data center. Select world. All right, everybody, it's time for school. Proceed.
I safely arrived to Dynamis. Nigga, can I borrow a pencil?
I got like 2 pins on me.
Oh, shit.
I ain't no erasing these notes. He was either cross that bitch out.
Right.
Alright, so Smokey put in Final Fantasy stuff, like the server, what is the voice called, so we can join it.
Wait. We could join where now?
If we go to Final Fantasy stuff, she put her Discord in there, so we can join that call for fight school.
Okay, okay.
Alright, I'm gonna join it now.
Yeah, I'm in there.
Alright, man, I'll catch you later.
See you later.
You have a good day.
That's nice.
So that'll be what we start with. And then we'll go from there as more and more people kind of show up and do whatever, what have you. But yeah, general knowledge first, because not everybody is endgame. Not everybody wants to do raids ever. Some people just want to live their best crafting life, and they just want to know how to not fall down or what sort of things to look at to not fall down as often. So we respect all player types today.
We have 2 Yadas.
Yada!
Yeah, we got 2 Yadas.
Hey, where's the other Yada?
Yada meet Yada.
Yada's right there.
For now, we'll give it like 10 minutes. Let the stragglers come washing through. I'm finna snatch Afro in session.
I'm cut. Savages.
I mean,
Interrupting
all right.
our conversation.
Oh, I didn't know if
Yeah.
y'all was talking. My bad. You can go back.
We were
I thought.
talking about the weather.
You don't
so,
have
okay, you can
permission
carry
to
on.
talk.
Sorry about the weather.
Only one Yada will
We
survive.
really was though. I was like, oh, it's hot outside. I got to get dressed soon. And
Yada and Splash said
Sorry.
they don't have permission to talk.
Oh, did Yada pick a role? You have to pick the 14 role in order to talk. I can give it to you. It's under the rules section. So I do that on purpose so that when people that are not POC join the Discord, they're forced to look at the rules for the Discord, and it's brought to their attention at that point that this is a POC Discord. I can give you the role though, but you are gonna have to leave and come back because it won't take effect unless you like leave the call and come back. But you have the role now, so you should be good. Same with you, Splash. I'll give it to you. So you can. Wait, did I give it to you? Did I give it to you? No, hold on. Wait a minute. I got it. Okay, now you can leave and come back, Splash. Right. And you should be able to talk now.
Okay. All right. Hello, everyone.
Hello. Hello, Mario.
Hello, Mario. All right.
Let's see.
Moon.
This is fine.
Moon, we got guests. I'm gonna whoop you.
What did you do?
You don't see the chat? Sailor Moon does intricate
No, I
Lala
see the
gang
chat.
signs.
I'm talking.
She be out here throwing up gang signs, bro.
All that.
Oh, wait, it's a party in here, yo.
Stop it.
It's a party in here.
Yes, it's very normal.
Unfortunately. We'll do some introductions when all the others get here. For now, I see Splash and Yada. If you guys haven't met, see that bunny over there? And this big old Rogadai man.
Oh, hello.
I think I'm at the wrong house.
You might be at the... You went to my personal.
Oh.
You gotta go to the MC house. So go to my name and then pick the one that says free company. Instead
I'm not
of
robbing her house. Stop, chat.
I'm dead.
I mean,
That's great.
I don't know if there's anything in there you
Yeah.
could steal.
I'll take the lamp.
Breaking and entering.
Well, I don't have any floor lamps, but you can
Damn
try.
it.
They all in the ceiling. It might be hard for you to reach.
Give me a lamp and a squid. I got an idea.
But yeah, just go to my friends list and estate teleport again, but this time pick the large house instead of the medium.
I was gonna walk there, but I kind of got lost.
It's in a different ward.
Oh.
You could, but it's in a different ward. They're in two different
Okay.
wards.
Let me just do that then. Like, I figured I'd know my way around here. I walked on all of these rules.
I mean, you might, but that's a different ward, so it's completely different houses. For starters, everybody pick the class that they would consider their current main or favorite. Or the one that they like to use the mostest. Yada, I know this might be hard for you. Our Yada, not Pony's Yada.
I'll go to Ninja because I got that Ninja.
Free company estate. Is that the one?
Yep,
I was
free
CS
company.
Viper, but I'm bad at teaching.
Have a look at all of yous.
Oh,
Got going on. Splash and Pony's Yada, you guys can look around. Feel free to check out the house and stuff if you haven't been here yet.
Yeah, I was meant to
Still
do
got a
that,
couple
actually.
minutes. Go right ahead.
oops.
And then there's Pony.
Did someone do the dishes?
What do you mean, did someone do the dishes? Why are there dishes?
Yeah,
Why
someone
are
did
there
the
dishes?
I'm gonna go check.
Why are there dishes? Who left dishes in the sink?
I don't know. Whoever used it last
Is
time
it-
can clean up after themselves.
Mm.
Oh snap! There's a basement here.
Yeah, there's 3 floors.
That's the pool almost drowned in.
Dead.
Oh. I guess the Lola fell in. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, don't sit down.
No, that's not the pool for them. This is their pool over here.
The one with the melon.
Yeah.
I am a melon
oh
after all.
yeah.
Embrace melon.
Yeah, perfect.
Oh, you got stuff from the golden saucer in here?
Yeah,
It does. Okay.
they work. You have
perfect
to be in the
size.
FC to get them to function for anything. And there's a
Oh.
lot of stuff in the house you can actually like touch and gives you like buffs and stuff. But
Okay.
you can get arcade machines for your
Oh,
house.
Alan. He dapped me up. I did not expect that.
Move.
Like, I did not know the
Okay.
minions would chill like that.
Moon be throwing up gang signs.
There you go.
See? Look, stop. Stop.
Oh, shit, a book.
But it's another Lala. I can't do Lala gang signs for another Lala.
I don't
We have gang signs?
know. You see how confused he is? Y'all don't have gangs. Stop it.
congregate together. They form their own alliance.
I called the Trenchcoat Mafia.
They're, all of them are already in
Good.
an alliance. They don't have to form anything. You just see each other. All right, we're alliance now.
All right, Trenchcoat
That's
Mafia.
it.
Hey, 3 Lalafels in a trench coat buying movie tickets, bro.
Hey.
The minions are
The
cool
biggest
till you see eye
stormhouse
to eye
I've
with
ever
them.
seen.
What's up?
I was like, the minions are cool till they eye to eye with you.
I like the decorations, the floor arrangements over here on the top floor.
Oh, thank you.
Is this a bar?
Yeah.
Is it just decorations or aesthetics? Does it actually do stuff?
So the NPCs in the house actually do stuff. The bar tap does pour alcohol, but it's not like you can actually like drink it or anything. There's a lot of stuff that you can like interact with and do stuff with.
Okay.
Oh damn! Hold on, are we out of? We are. I'll be back in 2 seconds. I gotta go get new buffs for the whatchamacallit. Everybody get to know each other in the meantime. We'll start in just a few minutes.
Hello, I'm Pony, and I have selective amnesia.
Valid.
Hi,
My name is
Boomy.
Rain. I suck at healing, and my main job is floor tank.
That's not a job.
No.
Don't worry, we'll get you a healer.
I'm Ori, I'm a summoner main, and I spend a lot of time on the floor, and I've had actual amnesia.
Oh shit.
Do not recommend.
Just turn it off. I figured out.
You're good. I don't remember. I don't remember. So like it's all good.
Oh, you forgot how to turn it off. Oh crap.
Wait, turn off amnesia?
Yeah,
That's what he said.
just turn it off.
Turn it off. What are you doing?
Yeah, that's how my selective amnesia works.
It's not selective. It's not selective for Ori.
You remember the part you gotta turn
I
it off?
selected the Owen button.
I couldn't even find the switch. Mine was a hard reset.
Oh, mine was a switch. I owe so many people less money now.
That's nice. That is nice.
It's like the amnesia.
Mine happened over Christmas where I conveniently forgot to buy a bunch of people gifts. And
Well,
I didn't even realize I forgot to buy them.
You just forget there's a Christmas. You good to go.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. We can get started. Let's see, this is our group, right? If you are endgame, go stand right here by this level 100 striking dummy.
They have
If
levels?
you are not endgame, stand by the level 1 striking dummy for me. I'm trying to see something real quick. Okay.
Wait. In game,
Like you're past on trail.
in game. Oops. Okay, so this character is not. Sorry.
It's okay. I mean, the stuff applies, so yeah, either way is fine. Okay. Cool. Go back, cool beans. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 of us, so we can't do an alliance because that'll fuck up the teleports. But why don't you guys all group up together? Who wants to play as my party lead? Yada, you do it. Go ahead, Yada. Collect everyone.
This gonna be confusing.
Oh yeah. I got chosen.
By collecting
Because there's 8 of y'all. Yeah, because there's 8 of y'all.
Yeah, we can
So
start a
just be me.
baseball team.
Oh.
Can I be the back catcher?
Somebody's in another party.
Ooh.
Wait, did I do the wrong one?
Somebody's in another party.
Moon, what you
I was
doing?
supposed to be in a...
I basically sure did.
No, you had the right idea. I was just trying to group everybody up. It's okay. Alright, so if you guys are all together, I said it a little earlier before everybody was in here, but this is not strictly designed to teach rating and high-end behaviors. We will go over that later, and I have some other raiders that will be coming in so you guys can branch off and get a little more intimate with your classes. But to start, wait, I don't want to be part of the 8. Just y'all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, no. Just y'all.
Who am I missing?
Me.
Yeah.
Like,
That's crazy.
So we're gonna go through some basics. Some of this stuff you guys will already know. But if you already know it, that's totally fine. Just keep it pushing because I'm covering stuff in kind of a regular, like general generic order. The goal of the first portion of this is just for, hey, I don't want to raid. I don't ever feel like being a legend. I don't want a legend title. I just want to know a little more about combat and how to like not fall down and stuff. So we'll go over a lot of like really generic stuff, but there'll be some other stuff in there that will be useful too. For you guys that aren't completely endgame yet, some of the stuff might not apply just yet. Just make a mental note of it, and keep it in mind for when it does. Let's start by going to Gridania, if you don't mind. Should have gave you a teleport allowance, Yada. But it's whatever. The vast majority of you should already know about this or do already know about it in some capacity, but come with me to where the in rooms are because we're going to first cover one of the easiest ways to get acquainted with mechanics in this game, and that's with the smith.
All right.
Mechanics are, for
the volume
sake of
levels.
definition, situations or miniature puzzles that you might encounter while fighting. The game does have several indicators and tells that it uses and repeats throughout the entirety of the game. That does include in high-end content, and you can learn them all by talking to this guy, the smith. This dude here will take you through the basics of not just your class, but also mechanics as well now. This was something they implemented in a recent patch, so this actually wasn't here before Dawn Trail. But they have added a second set of Hall of Novice things that you can go through that will teach you things like what a spread marker is, what a stack marker is, what a proximity attack is, the difference between an AoE and a tank buster, and it shows you the symbols and takes you through some training classes so that you can get acquainted with them in a safe environment where you're not having to worry about some random being like, what the fuck, dude, what are you doing? Like in your chat. So if you have gone to the smith and you have not done the combat marker or the mechanics piece, I would strongly recommend doing that. Even if you are an endgame player and a raider, even if you have already been into high-end content, it does not matter. Go through it anyway, because it does help. And I think you get like an XP earring out of it. I can't remember.
You do. You do.
Okay, yeah. You get like an XP earring out of it when you finish. So if there's classes that you haven't finished leveling yet, that'll come in handy. So that's what I wanted to start with. He's in all of the major cities. I took you here because this is the fastest one to get to. So you don't have to see him in Gridania. Any dude with this little leaf symbol over his head, with the name The Smith, can queue you up for Hall of Novice, and I would definitely recommend doing it if so. There is a chat that the game offers to Sprouts at one point or another. Mentors can actually invite you to it, called the Novice Network. A lot of people will tell you that that is a really good resource, right? Because it's full of mentors and it's full of other Sprouts that are also trying to learn the game. I'm going to tell you that that's a load of shit. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. The advice that is given in Novice Network at best is wrong most of the time. At worst, it can actually land you in situations that make your gameplay experience far worse and potentially end up in jail if somebody reports you for lethargic play or griefing. So if you are in the Novice Network or you plan on joining the Novice Network, do so with the largest mountain of salt that you possibly can, because not everybody in there is out to help you be a better player. I'm gonna just put it to you like that. There's a lot of trolls in there. There's a lot of drama and a lot of mess in there. It's fine to join it. It's fun to watch. Look, you ever been on the messy side of Reddit or watch the Steve Wilkos show? Jerry Springer? You might enjoy the Novice Network. But don't let that be the first place that you go looking for advice, would be my advice to you. Some people are going to give you good advice. Most of them are just going to troll you, or they're not even going to answer your question to begin with. It's going to cause an argument. So rely on your friends. Reddit is okay for some things. I would say peruse a lot of forums to try to aggregate a correct answer. There are some other online resources for combat and things like that that I can give to you as well. So I will do that here now. If you have Discord up, you're gonna want to look in the call chat for the links that I'm about to send you. The most popular site, because by far it's the easiest to understand and they're also usually the fastest to update their information, is called The Balance. This is The Balance. Going to The Balance will give you guides for how to play specific classes, what sort of things you should be looking at gear-wise, and all of those sorts of things. This is going to be the first one that I give you. I have not decided if I want to give you Icy Veins or not yet. I think about it. I might save that for those of you guys that are looking to like get some raid knowledge. But this is real easy. Lots of big pictures. They have guides on the spirit or the essence of the class that you're playing, the things that you want to look at fundamental wise. It'll also give you raid guides if you go in and want to see some advanced guides. There's a couple of those on there too. As far as like generic kind of guides for specific fights, those don't necessarily exist per se. There is one person I can think of that does have them. So let me find the channel. It's a YouTube channel. This is Miztech. Miztech makes guides for fights in this game, trials and raids mostly. And there are some normal guides in these as well. So alliance raids will be there, normal raid guides will be there, trial fights will be there. So if you are in a fight, you're having some trouble, or you're worried that you're going to have some trouble, you can use this YouTube channel and go look for the fight that you're looking for. And watch a video beforehand. You don't necessarily have to do that with normal fights. I always tell folks to go into the normal fights blind, see what you can figure out on your own, and then go look at a guide, because it helps you learn and absorb the information faster. But if you are the type that likes to Batman prep beforehand, this is a really good channel to help you do that. So there's that as far as basics are concerned for that piece. We are going to delve a little bit into further raid resources really quickly. So this may not necessarily apply to you, Pony, because you just finished Heaven's Word and you don't have any raids unlocked just yet. But for the rest of you, this should work. So we're going to go to Old Charlian. No, not Old Charlian. I'm lying. Edelshire. That's what I'm thinking of. Not Old Charlian. Edelshire. So I'm gonna teleport to Edelshire. Take that teleport. All of you should be able to reach it, I think. Is there anybody here that can't get to Edelshire?
Okay, let me in.
Okay.
We're good.
Okay, cool.
I was pronouncing it wrong this entire time.
What were you calling it?
Idleshire.
I mean, that's the same
So
thing.
it's not. So
I
it's
was
not
that
Idleshire?
too,
Huh?
yeah.
I was
would've-
calling it Edelshire until I heard a character say it out loud. If everybody wants to get on a
Nah,
mount
they're wrong.
and follow the big web wings. Not a wrong is crazy.
Oh, I don't want this.
Let me see where this is. It should be just outside. The X18 Y10. Wait, is this where the unlock is? Where is the unlock? Stop playing with me.
I'm still loaded.
For what?
No, that's fine. I haven't moved anywhere. You're fine.
The Eating shower.
A striking opportunity. Oh, he's here. He's in town. We don't gotta go nowhere. Okay, hold on.
Okay.
7360. Should be right around here somewhere. Hold on.
7360.
Oh, it's Goblin Town.
7.3, 6.0. Oh, he's right by the Aetherite. That's cool. So there should be a dude right by this Aetherite called the Boisterous Bruiser. He's got a blue shield check. If you don't have it, it's probably because you already picked it up or because you don't have any raids unlocked. But he should be right around this area. Do you see it? If y'all see it, go ahead and pick it up. Pick up that quest right now.
Okay.
If you can see it. If you can't see it, it's probably because you already have it or you just ain't there yet. Probably the former. This is going to be called a striking opportunity.
He left.
And yeah, that's fine. As long as you picked it up, that's totally okay. Once you finish that out, it is going to give you access to something called Stone Sky Sea. And what that is a set of striking dummies that you can kind of test your metal against, if that makes any sense. So does anybody else need to finish the quest besides Rotary?
I do.
Okay, let's finish that. Let's get that unlocked for everybody. So go ahead and do what you got to do. If you already have it unlocked, you can come with me.
What was the name of the quest again?
A striking opportunity. You might already have done it. If he's not here, you probably already have it at some point or another. And so we're gonna do a field trip through all of the X-Back Stone Sky Sea spots. Not everybody will be able to go, but we're starting with this one because you have to. This is the only quest in the game that you have to unlock in order to get the other one, to get the next one. Like, even though they all do the same shit for different shit. And then where is his ass? It should be. Where is he? 1810 for the hinterlands. Did I take us into the hinterlands? I did.
Yeah.
X18 Y10 is wherever the NPC is, if it is unlocked.
What's up, Nobu? How you feeling? We in
Should be
Spokey's
like right
class.
over here somewhere.
We're in Spokey's class, so we learning
It's been
about,
forever since I've done this one.
We're doing a fight school.
Am I running away from it? I am running away from it. Hold on.
It should be here.
I have a poor sense of direction. Hold on.
It's the Goodly Adventurer.
Where?
The Goodly Adventurer?
The Goodly Adventurer?
Yeah, that's what it says on my screen.
Yeah, it says
White 10, right?
Yeah. Y10. Oh, okay. Okay, he's right here then. Cool. So, you may need to break off. Well, actually, you will need to break off out of party to use him. But if you go in, he'll have 3 options: fight, small talk, and nothing. You're gonna choose fight, and that's gonna open a menu. And what these are exactly what they are listed to be. These are striking dummies, though, so they do not fight back. There's a level 60 one, there's a basic training one, and then if you have extremes or savages unlocked for Heaven's Word, those will also be listed here too. So break out of the party, pick one for yourself. It doesn't matter. You can do basic training if you have no intention on doing raid stuff. If you're curious to see how you would measure up in a raid fight, pick one of those. Like I said, they don't fight back, you are safe. Just for now, pick anything just to get you out of there. Or get you over there for now, because he's gonna take us to a different place, and we should all be able to see each other when we get over there.
Stone Sky Sea.
Yes. Yeah, anyone is fine. You can pick whatever. He's gonna teleport us to a different spot, where there's gonna be a bunch of different striking dummies set up. And then you'll have a little mission marker. It'll say challenge begins in, and it's counting down, and then you'll have 3 minutes. You can cancel it, or you can try it if you want. If you come out of the ring, it'll end the trial, and you'll still be out here, so it's fine. So if you don't feel like actually beating up on it, that's totally okay.
That was a bit dramatic for a striking dummy.
But yeah, if you're not in the ring, it will end. If you are in the ring, you want to come over here, for example, pay attention. You get a 3-minute timer. And your job is to basically kill this dummy within 3 minutes. Rain over there just did it. See how Rain just destroyed their dummy? So you're going to attack as quickly as you can. You're going to use your rotations, your openers, and get that dummy burned down within the 3-minute time. If you succeed in doing that, the dummy will break, and it'll say, hey, good job. Yeah, you did it. If you fail, it'll tell you failed. Either way, it does not negatively impact you. This is strictly for training purposes. So, the reason I brought you here is because it isn't just raiders that use rotations and openers. Everyone should try to have some semblance of opener or rotation regardless of what you're doing, whether it's a normal fight, whether it's a dungeon, whether it's whatever you want to do that. You notice the recast is a bit slower in here? Yeah. These striking dummies can help you perfect that. They can help you hone that. They can tell you whether or not you are on the right track with what you are doing with your attacks. If you can kill the dummy within the timer, then you're on the right track. If you fail to do so, that doesn't mean that you're a bad player. It doesn't mean that you're terrible. You should just uninstall, unsubscribe. It just means that you have a little work to do to get to where you might want to be. They are fight specific, but like I said, there is also one for basics, and there is also just a bland level 61. So if you are not interested in doing raids or extremes, you can use those two just to kind of get your stuff down to a science. It's super, super helpful. Each class will have kind of a different overhead that they can go through as far as like being on the right track for doing things. So for example, if you are a caster, you're always going to want to be casting. Shocker. I know, right? Each caster will have things in their kit that will allow them to continue to cast damage spells while moving, because that's the biggest drawback, right? When you're casting, you can't move. But each caster will have things in their kit that will allow them to either instantaneously cast spells or move while casting spells. So depending upon which caster you're playing, you're going to want to familiarize yourself with what those are. Red Mage has the passive of dual cast, so it makes it really easy to move between spells as long as you're casting the shorter spells first. Black Mage has a triple cast and access to Swift. You're going to want to use those at the appropriate spots to keep yourself out of danger. And Summoner go burr. So, like, you really ain't got to worry about it too much unless you're in your Ifrit phase, to be honest.
Yeah.
I failed. I got to uninstall.
Oh, man. For my high-end folks that are using Stone Sky Sea to try to perfect their rotations and openers for a specific raid, if you fail your dummy, that does not mean you are not ready for that raid. What that means is that whatever damage was left over when you finished is damage that your teammates are going to have to pick up and carry on your behalf. Doesn't mean that you can't finish the raid. It just means that anything that you leave left on the table is somebody else's responsibility. So there's my little high-end caveat. Covering the specific classes, going back to it, we talked about caster a little bit. Let's talk about melees. Melees, you got three general overarching jobs. Number one, don't stand in the orange. Number two, do as much damage as possible by using your positionals and being in the correct spots, whether that's on the flank or in the rear.
What's the right
Number
flank
three,
or the rear?
rear
Flank
is
either
behind,
side. Oh, my bad.
rear is booty, flank is left and right, either side. Number three, never peel. Do as much damage as you possibly can without disconnecting from that boss. There is something that exists called a max melee range. Let's pretend that this is the boss's hitbox, right? See this ring I'm running along? If this is the boss's hitbox, you can be back about here and still be doing damage. So your job is to hit as many times as you can, as quickly as you can, as hard as you can, without leaving that boss's attack range. And also stay out of the damn orange. You are damage centric. When you start getting into high end, there's a few other responsibilities that come into play. We'll cover that later. Fizz range. You don't have a problem with having to stay attached to the boss. You can hit anything from pretty much anywhere for the most part. So for you, your jobs are often easier. Stay out of the orange. Don't stop hitting, and then oftentimes Fizz ranged will have, not every time, because, you know, machinist is a thing, but Bard and Dancer have the responsibility of keeping the party buffed as well. So those are your priorities as a Fizz range player. Keep hitting the boss, stay out of the orange, and keep your party buffed so that they can do what they need to do. In the case of melees, continuing to do damage as hard as they can. Casters, same deal. Always be casting. Tanks and healers, I'm going to cover, and I saved them for last for a reason, because there are a lot of general misconceptions with the responsibilities for tanks and healers. I'm going to start with healers. Yes, it is your job to keep the party alive. It is also your job to do damage. I don't care what healer you are on. You have to be damaging as well. Sure, you can prioritize healing, but if everybody in your party is above half health, you should probably be attacking instead. Pure healers, Your job is to put it back if it's missing. Shield healers, your job is to make sure it doesn't go missing. If your party has shields on, you should be attacking. If your party has all their health, you should be attacking. You have, in most cases, 2 damage buttons. There's a few more. Anywhere between 2 and 4 damage buttons you can use on a healer. One of those is going to be a damage over time or a dot button. So if you hear us say dot, put your dot on, put your dot on. Is your dot up? Are you using your dot? That stands for damage over time. You want to keep that rolling. Session, are the timers different for the dots on healers?
Nope, they're all the same.
They're all 30 seconds? Okay.
They're all 30 seconds.
So you get a 30-second timer from the time you cast your dot. You want to make sure that it doesn't fall off. When it gets down to 1 or 2 seconds, re-up it. Tanks. A lot of tanks out there have main character syndrome. I understand why. There's this huge misconception that tanks lead the pace of a dungeon or a fight. That's a lie.
Hell no.
That's a goddamn lie. Hear me now.
I'd be looking for my healer.
You're not in charge of shit, okay? You're not the leader. You're not Superman. This isn't the Justice League. You have one job and one job only. Soak damage so other people don't. The end. Okay, 2 jobs. Stay on your feet.
Always be.
That's the list. That is the whole list. The reason why tanks are usually in front is because most of the time the party is too timid to run ahead. But every now and then you might run into a speed racer in a dungeon. And I know that pisses people off. We have a nasty epidemic of you pull, you tank in this game. They not doing nothing wrong. Let them run ahead. That's free mitigation for you. I tell my FC this all the time, but if you are on a tank and somebody runs ahead and pulls a monster or a group of monsters, it's mitigation. And it's mitigation because it's attacks going out that you are not taking damage from. Okay? So you get a dancer that wants to sprint ahead and pick up mobs and bring them back to you. That's cool. That's free mitigation, bro. Let them do their thing. You just keep running along at the pace that you run along at. And you should be fine. I will tell you, if you do not pick those up after they come back to you or after you make your way to them, at that point you are griefing, so don't be that guy. As tempting as it is, because it do be tempting, don't do it. You can be reported for that, so.
You hear that, Yada? About to make shit worse?
What I do?
We're gonna circle back to DPS because I just... Oh, was there a question? Sorry.
Oh, sorry, I was just wondering about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I had some instances where it was just, the DPS is griefing.
Okay, what
and
was
you're
going
a
on?
new tank, and you're just like, okay, I don't know, like, I'm trying to do the dungeon and stuff like that, but you keep pulling everything.
Oh, okay.
For
So
one.
if you're a new tank and it's becoming overwhelming for you, it is okay for you to ask that they stop. I'm not telling you to never ask or always let the DPS go zoomies. If you're getting overwhelmed, there's 2 ways you can teach that lesson. You can go ahead and fall down, and they'll figure it out on their own and stop doing it. Or you can ask politely if you feel more comfortable doing that. Hey, I'm new at this. I'm a little overwhelmed. Do you mind not doing that? If they want to be a dickhead after that, then that's on them. And then it's not to say people won't, because they will. Oh, man, you're fine, bro. You got to learn some way. Herk-a-dirk-a-dirk-a-dirk. Vote kick them. Vote kick them or go ahead and fall down, bro. Like,
You
dead
can vote
ass.
kick
I'm
it
not
in?
even joking. Yeah, you can vote kick people.
If I may.
Mm-hmm.
What I like to do when I was starting out 14 is first thing I say, when everyone's like, hi, hello, how are you? Wave. First time. Literally, be like first time, and I'll be
Most people will chill out if they see a first time in chat.
I'll immediately be like, first time, this is what I'm doing, this is what I have going on, I can't be doing all this, taking it slow, or whatever the case. So you've established that before you even started. So from that point on, if they're doing that, vote kick them.
Yeah, if you do not want to fall, like if the notion of falling down in a dungeon bothers you and you genuinely don't want to and you would like to reasonably learn, vote kick is an option. When you are in an instance, you open up your menu and go to duty, And if you go to your duty finder while you're in a dungeon, you will not get the normal menu options that you get. Instead, there'll be several other options there, such as leave, abandon, vote kick, things like that will be listed in there. So that is how you do that when you are in a dungeon. Do it. Vote kick 'em. It's really easy. Otherwise, you could be like me. My petty is I already warned you once, bro. So if I fall down, that's on you at this point because I told you I was new. I told you I was new. You decided to keep going. Now everybody on the ground. And you know whose fault it's not? Mine, because I warned you.
I will say though, when you are trying to put your toes in the deep end with tanking and you're trying to like take like 4 or 5 groups, that if you fall, you just be prepared to probably receive backlash on that. Some people.
But it depends on who you're with. So here's what I'm gonna tell you: a veteran player like myself, like Session, like Afro, it's not always the tank's fault. It's not even always the healer's fault. Sometimes when people go down, sometimes it really do be a shithead DPS that didn't understand what they were supposed to be doing. So if someone does go off on you, first of all, that's a reportable offense. Go ahead and copy paste all of that into a report. Take care of itself. Don't worry about it. Second of all, understand that just because you're the tank and you fell down, that doesn't mean that's your fault. That could be a healer that's not used to healing and wasn't paying attention. I've killed tanks dozens of times, bro. I'd be in there glare maging. Look up, they got 30 health left. Oh shit! Oh damn, that Benny went out too late. Damn, my bad, Shawty.
That was Nita, actually.
yeah, it happens. So falling down happens. That'll be something that we'll go through too. But actually, before we circle back to DPS and how you can pull ahead if you are interested in doing that, let's go through this a little bit. This community, I love it dearly. We have a lot of neurospicy kids. I am a neurospicy kid. I have generalized anxiety disorder and ADHD. Okay. One of the biggest fears for a lot of players that want to get on and have a good time and just kind of run content is that they're going to get a nasty gram in this chat. I have yet to run into a single person in this game, devs included, that have never died or made a mistake. Ever. And I'm gonna give you a little secret. It's a game you can play from here on out if you're worried about it. 10-1, the person that's talking shit is gonna be the next mofo to mess up. That's gonna be the next person to fall down. 10-1, that is the next person to fall down. Session, back me up.
I'm fucking flawless in this game.
It's a video wins again.
I'm never dying this shit.
Eat shit immediately 30 seconds later, bro.
What's up, King?
Her point in value, and I know that
I'm in
like the
a fight
old
school.
Man, whatever.
It's
at some point had no
a
idea
community
what rotation
event where they teach you
I didn't
high
know
level
that
gameplay.
Buttons were
from Final
combos.
Fantasy
I was
14.
ass at this game. I used to go to the wall and then just like wait for the AoE to go away. And the point is that like you will learn
Good
to
to
improve
see you, buddy. How you been?
as long as you keep yourself humble in the willingness to like learn and become a better version of yourself. It'll always be a fruitful opportunity. But yeah, Smokey's point entirely seconded.
Take this and make a mini game for me, all right? Because I know a lot of people have anxiety about getting sassed at or getting cussed out in the party chat. Anytime somebody says something cheeky to you or something petty to you while you're running something, start a timer and see how long it takes before they eat shit.
Productive.
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm dead
been
ass,
good.
bro. And watch
I'm picking
how
up more
fast
skills on
the
animation.
anxiety drains
gonna
out
be
of
like
that
a
type
lot
of
of work.
situation for you.
If I can just also like in addition to that too, the better part of that game
I need
is
to
when
see
you
my
play that
updated
game
songs.
and you
I haven't
figure
sent you
out
some of my
to
songs
yourself
yet.
if you can
I have a lot of
die
new songs
after
up on,
them,
like, everything.
because then you can hit them with that good old fashioned.
I don't even think you
know
heard
what
the
I mean?
Toaster
And then you
song.
kind of keep it moving.
You're petty.
That's
You're
all.
petty.
Yes, I am.
You're petty.
Because I started from the bottom and now I'm somewhere in the middle. You know what I mean? So
Right? Look, hold on.
that's all I'm saying.
You don't pay my subs, proceeds to eat shit 2 minutes later. Dead ass. Anybody in here that has played this game for longer than 40 hours knows I'm right and knows what I'm talking about. Start a timer. You ain't gotta actually start a physical timer, but do a mental one. Start counting. And watch how fast they fall down. Anytime anyone has sassed me in
Hey,
this
as long
game,
as you've been
they
having
have
the same
the
trip,
first
I can
person
show you
to
the
eat
songs
shit
anytime.
afterwards. every time.
But yeah, I got a new
Every
song that's
time
called
it's
"I'll Beat
so
the Fuck
fucking
Out Your
funny.
Toaster."
It becomes hilarious. You start looking forward to people talking shit because you know that just shortly thereafter someone is gonna fall down. It's gonna be great. Then because here's what it is: people that are actually talented, people that are actually good, people that actually play this game, don't waste words on people that are learning. There's no point. We were all bad at some point. I'm carrying around a pair of chakrams right now that got skill speed on them. I know that means nothing to most of you, but dancers don't use skill speed. Like
That makes sense to me though. Like having skill speed.
Not on a dancer, you're not supposed to. You have to keep it 2.5 because your timers are very, 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 very strict.
Oh.
We'll cover it later. But like, we're all bad. We were all bad at some point. Every last one of us got lost, fell down somewhere, hit our head against a mechanic over and over again, had to redo a solo instance. We've all been there. And veteran players that actually have talent know that and understand that. And they see somebody trying to learn a new class or get better at something, and they're not going to shit on that. They're not. So the only people that talk shit and get loud and get nasty are idiots. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah. The chakrams on my hips right now came from an ultimate. The people that carried me through this clear have a bad reputation because they're quick to kick people out of their parties for messing up. But what I came to learn by clearing with them is they weren't kicking people out for messing up. They were kicking people out for being hubris, for being full of themselves, for not taking advice and feedback. So like, if you're with them and you mess up and they feel like you refuse to learn from what they're trying to tell you or correct your issue, they'll put you out. And they've caught a bad rap for that. They've become something of ultimate villains for that.
They remind me of Kakashi.
They were nice as shit to me. Hold on. The day I cleared T, they had joined my party finder.
Pick up groceries in the rain.
And it was only like 3 of them.
I'm going to be here for a long time.
And we did a couple of pulls. Somebody said something. Another person chimed back. And they turned to me. The Smokey or Omira, you can clear this. But I'm not going with you if you're going with these people. And all 3 of them left. And then they sent me a tell, and they were like, do you want to get in the van? And I was like, yeah, I kind of want to get in the van. We cleared in 2 pulls. And the first mess up was one of theirs. One of them messed up first. So, like...
I have over 1,000 hours on Ninja, and I still get the button every now and
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You never don't make mistakes. Ever. Like... There are no perfect players, and that includes the creators of the game themselves. So if somebody is giving you grief, just set a timer and wait for it.
That really reminds me of, well, I don't know how many of people who watch Final Fantasy YouTube videos, but there was one who talked about a black mage who crashed out very badly on someone for fucking up an ultimate. And the amount
and they proceeded to pick apart his rotation, how he. I know what you're talking about. That was the most recent crash out from Fru. Yeah.
This is the Black Mage Compendium guy.
They buried him under the jail, bro, for talking shit about other people and using footage in which he himself is making mistakes. So
he called out the wrong person too.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Doofus. Anyway.
And then Xeno got a hold of it.
Moral of the story: you'll make mistakes.
You will make mistakes.
Yeah.
And anybody that is trying to yell at you or point out your mistakes, their hands aren't clean either. And I know it's hard. It's easier said than done when you hear me go, "Oh, try not to let it get under your skin." But like seriously, it doesn't mean anything. It's meaningless. Don't worry about it. Circling back to the pulling ahead, tanks don't set the pace situation. If you are a DPS and you want to create a little mischief, you can. There are buttons that will keep you alive. Individual mitigations, individual heals that you can use. If you are a physical DPS player, you want to open up your actions and traits with me. Go to the Rules tab, and you should have several things listed there. The 2 I'm going to point out to you if you're a fizz range, are second wind and arm's length.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Second
God,
wind is a
Xavier.
self heal. Everybody should
that.
have it except for casters. Sorry, guys. Any physical attackers will have second wind. It's a physical heal, has an 800 cure potency, so it's basically a cure that you can use. Arm's length.
100.
Oh yeah.
Level 100.
Yeah, you're right. I forget. It scales. My bad. My bad, shawty. It scales.
500 for us. That not
It-
100.
Yeah, mine is
It'll
500.
get to 800 potency. Let me put that there. My bad.
Okay.
Arm's length is a knockback invuln. Both of these buttons should be on your hotbars somewhere. It's a knockback invuln, but it also adds a slow to anything that attacks you. As a fizz range, you'll have a third button that I'm also going to ask you to add to your hotbar. It's called Head Graze. This interrupts actions for certain monsters, bosses, whatever you're fighting. There are cast bars for everything, and if you need to separate your cast bar, we can go through how to do that too. I'll share my screen and kind of show you where the menus are.
Is my version leg sweep?
Yes, your version is leg sweep.
Okay.
But this is an interrupt, or if the leg sweep I think is a stun. Let me swap to a melee right fast. Yeah. You should have those buttons on your hotbar at all times. As a level 100, all of those buttons are on my hotbar. You will never not use those buttons. Those are always important. You should be implementing them every chance you get. For melees, you have second wind. You also have leg sweep, which is a stun. You have another heal called bloodbath. You get that at level 12.
That's my jam.
Yeah, it's a lifesteal. It converts damage that you deal into HP. So if you're running ahead and pulling mobs, you're gonna pop that bloodbath. You're gonna AOE your way back to the tank. Because every time they hit you, you just put it right back with bloodbath. You have two other buttons that are, well, actually all of these should be on your hotbar as a melee. You don't necessarily need leg sweep, but the others should be there. Second wind is important. Bloodbath is important. True north is important if you have positionals, which Cody, you do. Do all of the? I don't know if all the melees have with Viper. Oh yeah, Viper does too. Yeah.
Every melee.
True north is important because it allows you to ignore positionals. So in fights, you'll end up in situations where you cannot be behind or to the side of a boss. You need to pop true north so that you're still getting your damage.
Okay.
Arm's length is a knockback invuln. You need that. Casters for you, it's sure cast. Sure cast if you're a caster. The other button that is important to you if you are on a melee is feint. It's the other red hand or background with the hand.
I never used that.
You need to. So here's what feint does. Feint is a mitigation. It lowers the damage dealt by whatever you hit it with. So that's super important in like trials and raids when you see raid wides coming out. Most bosses will have something called a raid wide, which is unavoidable damage. It hits the entire party. If you put feint on before that goes off, you lessen the damage that everybody gets hit with. So, second wind, feint,
So like a
arm's
mitigation?
length. What's that?
Yeah. Like a mitigation? Sorry.
Yes, it is a mitigation for the party.
Okay.
Basically-
I will also say,
Yeah, go ahead.
On that note, real quick, when you're in like normal dungeons, like before Stormblood, even within like halfway through Stormblood, because then it will start to matter later on. But before that, if you know you're about to get hit because you stepped in something you weren't supposed to step in, you can just feint. You're not really gonna need it for the other earlier dungeons.
Start practicing looping that in, is my point. If you're not using feint in True North, you should be. If you're not using arm's length, you should be. You know how many times, even as a melee or a ranged, I'll be like, I don't feel like participating in this mechanic. I'll just pop an arm's length. I don't get pushed anywhere. I'm just hanging out. I'm just vibing. In higher end content, arm's length is exceptionally important because there are going to be times that you have to. You have no choice. It is a requirement for whatever it is that you are doing. So start familiarizing yourself with that now. Anytime you're about to be knocked back, press arm's length. Anytime a raid wide's about to go out or you're about to take damage, like Yada said, press feint. Anytime you can't be behind the boss, press true north.
I would say that certain melee jobs, True
All
North
melee
is
jobs.
you.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Ryan.
I haven't really played like all of them yet, but at least with Viper, you always have to be using True North. There's never
Yes.
a moment where you should not be using it because there's a lot of positionals for Viper. And a lot of times you're really not going to be able to get those positionals. So True North, you always have to be using it.
True North
Always.
is pretty clutch if you're trying to get your damage up to a certain spot. So keep those in mind. Bloodbath and Second Wind are more situational. Those are the two you're going to rely on if you were pulling ahead as a melee. So like if you're going to get trash mobs, pop that Bloodbath when you get to them. Go ahead and AoE, make your way back to the boss as you continue to AoE the whole time. With that Bloodbath on, you should live. If Bloodbath runs out and you're still not back to the tank for some reason, first of all, you ran way too far ahead. Second of all, use your Second Wind to try to make it. You'll be all right, man. Casters, if you want to open up your roles tab, go to character, actions and traits. There's a couple buttons in here that you were going to use. 4 to be exact.
Quick question. How do you respawn the dummy?
You have to go talk to the Pathfinder, and he'll take you back out to homie, and then you can pick a new fight.
Oh.
Yeah. If you are a caster, go ahead and open up your actions and traits. Go to the roles tab. We'll go through the ones that are super important for you. Sleep is fun, but it really is just a fun button for now. I hope that they implement that at some point. I'm not gonna hold you. I really truly do. Session. I hope that we end up to a point where casters have to use sleep in an ulti, bro. I do. It's petty, but I do. It basically sleeps the enemy. It sleeps your target. It keeps you from getting hit. So in a way, it is mitigation. If you are in a solo instance by yourself, for example, and you're casting, sleep is a really useful button. It'll keep you from taking a hit. You don't have any heals, you will notice. There is no Second Wind. There is no Bloodbath in here. That's fine. You're a caster. You really shouldn't be in the mix with shit anyway, unless you're a summoner or a red mage, now that I think about it. But these other buttons are still important. Battle, the one with the purple bubbles, that is Feint for casters. It does the same thing as Feint. It's mitigation. They will overwrite each other. Melees, if somebody has already pressed Feint in a fight, don't press it. You will overwrite their Feint. Casters, if there is already an Addle on the boss, don't press Addle. You will overwrite the Addle. Feints overwrite Feints. Addles overwrite Addles. You can have a Feint and an Addle out at the same time. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, you want that on your hotbar. Lucid Dreaming. I don't care if you're a black mage and you can put it back with ice. Put Lucid Dreaming on your hotbar. You never know what situations you're going to end up in, and you may need to recoup some of that mana without using ice.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
don't
you're a fire
care if you have a put it back cast. Put the Lucid Dreaming on your hotbar.
But it's nice.
I don't. What did I say? Put it back. Put it on the hotbar. You saying that, but it's ice. There have been times where I have been out as a black mage, and I think I'm super cool, and I got all this in, and I shove out a flare at early levels. Yeah, I shove out a flare and then realize that I can't cast ice because I did something wrong. Either my thunder proc's not going, or So yeah, put it on your hotbar. You're gonna need it at some point or another. Swift cast, it does exactly what it sounds like. It gives you an instantaneous cast of something. You press Swift, you press whatever it is you're trying to cast, boom. You don't have to stop moving. Very, very useful. Very, very useful. And then Sure cast is basically arm's length, but for casters. This is your knockback invuln. All 4 of these, Addle, Lucid, Swift cast, and Sure cast, need to be on your hotbar somewhere. You are going to need them at some point, and as you get into higher levels, they become more important. This stuff applies to healers too, I believe. Healers have the same rules as well. So, yeah. Tanks have the same mitigation buttons as melee? Yeah, tanks have the same mitigations buttons as melees. And as well as a few more, actually. Yeah, no, we're gonna go through tanks. I take it back. I forgot. Forgot about Trigger Provoke. And Reprisal. So tanks have Rampart. That's a self-mit. Do not remove Rampart from your hotbar. I don't care if you're a level 100 warrior and you have all the mitigations in the world, you still need Rampart. I said what I said. That's 20%. Don't play with me.
People actually do that. I always use it.
Yes, people stop using Rampart as they start to get more mitigations. You need Rampart. You need Rampart at
is
all
always
times.
the first medication I always hit.
They
Good.
stop using it? When did they stop?
There are people that exist that stop using Rampart. Yes. Look, and now you see why we're doing fight school. Wow.
Oh my god.
Just understand that a lot of people think that the roll abilities, because they're shared across jobs, are optional as a result, but the game has made it very clear that due to the limited number of them, they are required in the content that they apply for. So and ultimates make that a necessity.
Yes, there are people that do not press the Rampart button, that do not even have it on their hotbar past a certain point. If you are a tank, you need Rampart. Yeah.
I do it all the time.
I mean, I know some would be situational, but not. I wouldn't say.
Yeah.
I love hearing the clutched pearls. You have no idea how happy it makes me to hear the clutched pearls. Thank you.
Saved my life an hour.
Low blow is a stun. I am gonna put low blow in the optional category. Like, and when I say optional, I mean like solo fights. It's a stun. So it is useful, and you can use it in dungeons, especially on big packs of trash mobs. So if you're trying to learn to pull wall to wall, you may want to keep low blow at the ready, so you can stun one of those to just one less hit that's happening on your body. You know what I mean?
I would go as far as to say always have that on your hotbar.
Yeah, I don't, but I am also not a tank main, so for me, you know what I mean?
You don't know what your teammates are like. If you get a healer, and, like you did one of those big pulls, maybe it was accidental, maybe the DPS pulled ahead, and like the healer's like, oh shit, that saves lives.
You gotta say, you could also save the homie. If you see your healer about to get dinged in the face and you pop a low blow right quick, you could be okay. You know what I mean? That's one rolling GCD. So, provoke and shirk, those are required. There will be no questions. I will not explain further. If you do not have provoke and shirk on your hotbar as a tank, stop tanking. You need them. Absolutely need them. And do not shirk. Do not shirk your DPS or healer friends, bro. Stop giggling, Ray. Don't do it. That's griefing. That's griefing, and if they catch it, and some people can see when they've been shirked on. They know what it looks like, okay?
Yeah.
They will report you, and you will end up in GM jail. Do not shirk dog tanks. Which part?
The shirking part. I didn't understand the terminology.
So provoke is pretty self-explanatory. It's pulling aggro on whatever you're fighting. Shirk is a button that lessens aggro on you and puts it onto whoever you target. So, do I have shirk? I do have shirk.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
I don't know if I can do it. Do you have to be in a party to do it?
Okay.
Okay. All right. So here, look, check this out, right? Pay real close attention to the effects. It won't let me shirk because we're not in a fight. Fine, never mind. Whatever.
Oh, it won't? Oh.
Yeah, there it is. Thank you, Yada.
Oh, okay.
Did you see the little swirls?
Yeah, so that just adjusts aggro.
It adjusts the aggro,
okay.
yes. So if we were fighting something and Yada shirks to me, whatever the boss it is gonna hit me next. You can shirk healers and DPS if they are like second or high up enough in aggro. That's why I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that. I mean, do it to your homies if you guys are together and there's no randoms in there. But you know, for fronts, for the lows.
In the ideal sense, we would do that if you want to transfer aggro.
Correct.
Die,
Correct.
Route.
So there are situations where you have to be provoking and shirking, primarily higher end content with tank busters. There is a raid series if you've done Pandemonium, for example. The fifth fight in that series, in the Savage version, the boss does 2 tank busters back to back. If you get hit with both as a single person, you will die. It's a pass fail. It's a pass fail. You can't be hit with both. So if I, as a tank, am hit with the first one, I would need to shirk to Yada so that I don't get hit with the second one. Because if I get hit with both of them, it doesn't matter if I have my invuln up or not, I'm gonna die. You're not supposed to be hit with both of them. So there are instances where you do have to shirk or provoke in fights.
Eden also has.
What, say that one more time?
Eden also has.
Oh, that's got a pass fail on it.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
You get stunned if you have twice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that tracks, actually. They're trying to teach you early on. Hey, start passing.
Well, yeah, that was the normal version, but yeah.
Interject is your interrupt. As a tank, you also get an interrupt. As of this raid series for Savage, as of this tier, you are using this interrupt button. There is a fight where there are 4 trash mobs that spawn, and you have to interrupt 3 of them or risk giving everybody in the party damage downs, which meaning everybody in the party does less damage. Interject needs to be on your hotbar. You should be using it when you get a chance. Reprisal is a party-wide mitigation. So we talked about Feign and Addle a little bit. Reprisal does the same thing. It's 10% for tanks. You guys already know what arm's length is. It's knockback invuln. Tanks are not immune. I don't care if you're a warrior and you have inner release. Put arm's length on your hotbar.
Arm's length is mitigation.
Yeah. Yeah. It really is. And you can use those in dungeons, by the way. So Gojin, Thalia, you were talking about being new to tanking. One of the fun things that you can do early on as a tank in a dungeon to help you with wall-to-wall pulls is pull both packs, and when you finally stop, pop arm's length and reprisal. It means you're getting hit slower and a lot less for however long it takes for that stuff to fall off. I still use that, even in higher end dungeons.
I never thought about using those two. I always be hitting Rampart and any mitigation that either my Dark Knight or my Warrior had, and just pulling a full mob like that. So that's new.
That arm's length reprisal will help if you have nothing else, right? If you're reaching the end of the tether and you're like, damn, we still not done with these packs. Arm's length reprisal is really good. Really, really good.
Okay.
It'll take you the distance.
Dark Knight for sure. Black Knight is for
Yes. Like our best friend.
yes. So like you could do like Blackest Night before you stop. That way it's activated, and then you can go to Arm's Length. Or you could probably pass on the reprisal the first time, so you can actually break your shield, and you go from there.
That covers the roll buttons. I'm gonna take us through a few more universal truths for each like class type, and then I think I'll pass you guys off to my exploits. I think Lix is on her way. I don't know the girl is yet.
There's one thing I want to mention with one of the tank things.
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, does everyone actually know when to properly use wait, what is the skill again? Interject?
Interject?
Yep.
Yeah, no, that was gonna be one of the other things that we cover as far as role specifics before we move on. I got the cast bar shit and your tank stances. So if your cast bar is not separated, I can walk you through how to do that so that it's easier to see casts for everybody in the party. But if your cast bar is separated, just real quick, you'll notice that sometimes a cast going off from a boss flashes kind of red-yellow. It's like blinking. If you come across a cast that's doing that, that is when you can interrupt it. Those are interruptible casts, and if you hit interject while that's going on, it won't cast anymore. It stops it completely. There's an instance in Endwalker in the last boss of Ktisis.
It is.
Where you have to, well, I mean, you don't have to, but you're going to make life miserable for everybody if you don't. It's a good place to practice.
It's a thing that if you go in there with NPCs, the NPCs do it.
Yeah.
They will interject.
Yeah. Last thing, tank stance. If you're playing tank, please make sure that your tank stance is on. For warriors, it's called Defiance. For Dark Knights, it's called Grit. Paladins are... Fuck, what are paladins called?
Iron Will.
Iron Will. What is it for gun?
Royal something.
Royal Guard.
Royal Guard. Yeah.
Press that button once, and then don't touch it again. Until the fights are all over. Okay, Pumpkin? Also... If you're a level 100 or a level 90 and you end up in a lower level dungeon, your tank stance is not on. As a tank, you should be checking to make sure your tank stance is on at the beginning of every single instance. Doesn't matter if it's a dungeon, a trial, a raid, a guild hest. I don't care what it is. Make sure your tank stance is on, bro. Moving on back to healer. Oh, we already talked about dots for healers, so we don't need to move back to healers. What am I missing?
I
There's
reduced
some
the
other
ads.
universal
It's
truths
actually
I know
less
that
than it
I'm
was
missing.
before. It used to be like 5 ads. It should be 3.
You hit tank and healers.
Oh,
I
4.
did hit tanks and healers. I did teach
I actually cut
DPS
'em
how to
back
pull
down.
ahead and what their bases are.
So, like,
As a
right now,
DPS,
me at
your job
school-
is primarily doing damage. Every now and then you will have individual responsibilities depending upon the fight that you're in. But you want to be doing as much damage as possible as a DPS.
I'm a bunk connoisseur.
It's real cut and dry.
Bunk connoisseur.
I will say.
What was the question?
I was saying I was a bunk connoisseur.
Oh, yes. AoEs versus single target. That's what I wanted to talk about as DPSs.
Oh, yeah.
Especially as a melee, you may be really, really tempted to single target down a big pack of mobs. Don't.
Yeah, I found my fun
There's-
moves. It's the spin kick.
Yeah, it's levels to this, and you do get more of a benefit based on the number of mobs for certain classes, but as a general rule of thumb, if there are 2 or more things in the vicinity, you should be AoEing. As a general rule of thumb. That changes when you start getting into high-end stuff and other particular instances, but beginner AoEs. Wouldn't it make sense to single target when it's only 2 enemies? Yeah, I guess 3+ is 4.
I have a question.
2 could be.
Yeah.
It could be faster if it's only 2, but
It just depends.
Do I
It depends on
have
the class you are.
an AoE on my first stance? Because I have to do the dragon kick to go into the spin kick into the stomp. But I don't know if I have a
You
first move that has an AoE.
Do hold on. Let's see.
What level
See-
are you? 60?
64.
So you have a button called Form Shift,
Thank
and when you
you.
press that, any button that you have that can activate even like a power or like your little like orb thing will glow. So essentially what's helpful is to obviously pull your AoE buttons together, so that way, because every single job that is in the game has a AoE combo of some sort, or at least like a proc thing. So for you, your first one is going to be Arm of the Destroyer into 4-point kick into Rockbreaker. So realistically, you're going to just go back and forth into that, because they kind of follow the same thing as your single target, if that explains it.
Arm of the Destroyer.
It's a level 26 ability, I think, or
Yeah.
24, how about?
Arm of the Destroyer,
Look at
4-point
that.
Fury, Rockbreaker, and then when you do that enough, you'll get Enlight. No, you don't have Enlightenment yet. Don't worry about that. Worry about that later.
Yeah, you have Howling Fist at the moment, but
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's on my list yet.
Yeah, you may not be there yet. But you do want to make sure that your AoEs are grouped together, and this is to everybody, not just Pony.
Yeah, you
Put your
you set
AoEs in
mine
the
up
same
before.
spot. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I do have. So my hotbars are kind of a sin against mankind, but if you're a controller player, they may help. There is a channel. Let me find it. Oh, no, Kingdom Iron.
serious
What is this
question. Who else
called?
plays controller here?
I play
Hotbar.
controller.
I do.
All right, so I'm gonna link this in the call chat. If it'll let me. It won't let me.
Yes, this is class chat. Sorry.
If you go into the Final Fantasy XIV hub just by itself and click on just the hub, you can see the overview. I'll link that. I will link this so that you can get there. But if you click on that, it'll take you to the hub. In there is a forum post called Spokey's Hotbars. If you play on controller, take a gander at
This
those.
is a community
You might
class.
find them helpful.
So like they doing this. The high level players are doing this so we can learn the
It's
game.
got all of my hotbars for every class.
Wait, why I don't see what the fuck? Oh wait, never mind. I'm blind.
And the
Okay.
person
Yeah, I was say.
who's hosting it. Oh, sorry, I'm talking
Where
to chat.
is?
And
No,
the
you're fine,
person
go
who's holding.
I
What if we don't have those certain skills unlocked? Like, do we still
The
just put
person
them
who's
on anyway?
hosting it is
So some of your buttons will look
in the
different
chat
than
often,
mine
it's
because my
Spooky.
classes are at
Spooky
level
Doki.
100.
She
If
shows
they're
up
not
often.
unlocked or they look different, put them there anyway because you can grow into them. Typically, when I was starting a new class, I would set up my hotbar before anything else. I would go in and I would drag and drop every single ability that I could onto the bar. And then as I leveled and as I learned the class, I would move them about to make sure they felt good to my hands. So what you are seeing in those pictures is what my end result ended up being as I was learning and leveling that class.
But I
I'm gonna
would
run to the
choose
bathroom real
to
quick.
not worry about putting the ones you don't have yet.
I would put them on there, honestly. I know it seems silly to do it, but it does, or at least I found that it helped me to have them there. So that way, when they became unlocked, I wasn't searching for them. I knew where they were already. And I could press them and then I could start weaving them in. You're going to tweak the hotbar as you level, obviously, but smart to do. Smart to have everything in your face all at once because you'll every now and then you'll run into a situation where you're in an instance with somebody and you'll be like, hey, do you have such and such in your hotbar? Because you should. And they'll be like, oh, no, I don't. 1 second, let me add it. To avoid being in that situation, you have enough spaces on your hotbar that you can add all of your stuff now.
Yeah.
You just do it. Some moves have a secondary tab, which means they have a secondary ability. You can separate. Yes. Yes. Moon is absolutely correct. Yeah, the low level dungeons kind of suck, but you know.
The primary idea also is that if you're looking at your actions and traits, the way how the game is currently designed is that every single button can fit on your hotbar if your controller or keyboard or mouse, and every button is required. So there's no button in the game that you can just be like, oh, I don't need this. You like even if it's like a button that you don't use like in raiding, it's still just good to have somewhere on your hotbar in case it ever does get used in a raid, because the dev team has been experimenting a lot with content where buttons that you think that are useless actually end up being like pivotal in actually progressing
Look,
through
I'm
fights.
waiting on that
So
sleep button, bro. Hey, what if sleep works in 6? Has anybody tried?
yeah, no, it doesn't work. It doesn't fall asleep.
Damn.
Yeah.
Them yans,
I
put the
mean, but
yans
that's
to
the thing, though,
sleep.
right? I mean, the thing that when you do enter
Okay, I'm back.
situation, it is good to like test and examine it. You know what I mean? Because like you'll be surprised if the button does in fact
Yeah.
work or not. But that's the
Yeah.
idea, though, because again, like sleep is a button that the black mage or the casters and the healers have, and it's primarily helpful in dungeon content. But you'll never know if it does get
Yeah.
used in a raid. So it's just
Yeah.
important to have all those buttons on your hotbar somewhere.
Oh,
I
yeah,
guess
we
they
didn't
feel like
cover
we don't like
Rescue and
sleep anymore.
Asuna.
Oh no, not rescue.
Rescue and Asuna need to be on your hotbars. Look, Rescue is seen as a villain button, but put it on there anyway because you actually can save somebody's life that way.
Is that the move that you snatched me with?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, y'all used that on me a lot.
I don't know. I just don't put it on there because I just don't want to be making a mistake and then yank somebody into something. So
Rescue is a very confident button. Sorry to cut you off. So to explain rescue, right? Obviously, you pull somebody to you, and they can't do anything about it unless you have arm's length. That button is not generally required in terms of its actual like usage. It's only there if you are aware that someone's out of place and they are completely clueless. That button is when it's helpful. Or if you want to be somebody and like troll your friends and make them get hit by things for fun, then like yeah, sure, fine, have fun. But in terms of content affectation,
I
though,
have a friend that does that.
yeah, because
Yeah.
there's only one ultimate in this entire game where rescue is actually like a required button, but otherwise it's just there to serve as like a backup in case positioning goes a little bit like awry. But
Pause.
realistically,
Hold on,
you
because
still
now
want
I have a question. What do you mean it's required? Where?
UCOB phase 2.
Dead ass?
Yes.
Wow.
For Nail? Who's getting
Yes.
rescued?
The
Me?
third person
Oh,
with
the cheese. You're right. I forgot.
They're
That's crazy.
rescuing in
I have
Savage.
no idea. No
No,
idea.
that's the concept of it.
No, you're not typically
Oh.
rescuing in Savage as part of a mechanic. He's talking about an ultimate, which is a step above of Savage. We'll go through difficulty and fights and all that shit in a minute. Isuna, as a healer, and they've started going back and retroactively implementing this to make it a need in early content, and I'm glad. Isuna needs to be on your hotbar. Isuna
Please put it on
needs
your
to be on your
That
hotbar.
is the most goated fucking thing a healer could do. Is
Yeah.
Asuna to me. Because there are some like dungeons where you get a Vaughn stack and you can actually take it off with Asuna. So instead of letting it build up, you could just.
If you do have the intent of getting into high end, especially as a healer, it's a requirement. There are going to be times where you have to Asuna party members or you will wipe.
That's
So
deodorant.
start using it. Start whenever you can get it. Whenever you get a chance. Yeah, Asuna is required in T, or you're not making it out of phase 1.
Ooh.
But start getting used to pressing that. Start keeping an eye, training your eyes to look for debuffs, look for buffs and things like that, and for opportunities to use it in dungeons and just normal content. Because if you get good enough and quick enough at it, you good. That's let's see. That covers healers.
I think
feel like
one of the biggest things for DPS and healers is you have certain abilities that are AoEs that apply status effects, such as stun or slow, heavy. Use them.
Oh yeah, like the ninja. Yeah.
Ninja, I cannot tell you how goated Doton is.
Yes, Doton.
Fucking goated.
Yeah.
You don't know? You know when you play with a ninja and you don't see this and say like your tank, you'll notice the difference of like, wow.
Can't even see
Is
the
it either
tanks.
significantly easier? Or it's
Okay.
specifically
Before we
harder?
go any further, I am gonna take you guys through setting up your HUD or separating the cast bar for enemy cast bars. So I'm gonna share my screen in Discord. Feel free to look at that. If you can't look at it, let me know now so that I can not just go through this as if you guys can see what the hell I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, and one quick tip. Any new job y'all start, remember to put y'all limit break on it.
Yeah, add your limit break to your hotbar. Melees especially, but add your limit break to your hotbar.
I don't know.
No matter what role, always have it there.
I have a quick
I
question.
definitely had a few shares of
You need LB things. I'm sorry. It's true.
either DPS or sometimes healer would, in a situation where we need a healer LB3. We never got it from one. Still managed to clutch it, but they were like, damn, I never set my limit break on my bar. It was just them, and the other two tanks was forced to clear because the healer couldn't find the limit break.
That's wild. No, I'm sorry to say this, tanks. You need one. You will be LBing at some point.
Yep. DPS mostly, but everyone should have it.
Yeah.
Tanks will be LBing at the most crucial points.
Which reminds me earlier, Yada, I meant to tell you, limit break prio and high end. The melee that's doing less damage is responsible for limit breaks. Just as a nugget to you.
All the DPS rolls, the melee does the most damage.
I have two questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
The first question is, I like to use mantra a lot, especially when we get an attack, but like an AOE. Like if it's like an unavoidable attack, I usually use mantra right after that.
Okay.
Am I supposed to do that? I just do it out of reflex.
For you, mantra's the one where you
you buff everybody healing.
Whatchamacallits, right?
You buff everybody's healing by 10%.
Oh, well then yeah, that's a good spot to put that.
And my second question is, does that move get an upgrade or does it stay right there?
I think mantra gets an upgrade. Let me look. Hold on.
Because I cast that a lot, like almost every time I come up cooldown, to be honest.
Where my monk? Actions. Mantra.
I think it's under roll, ain't it?
No, it does not get an upgrade. But this is a good one to use. This is really good.
Yeah, I use it a lot.
Right before a raid wide, or right before healers are gonna have to put in some work. This is a good one to use.
Yeah. I usually cast it when I see somebody.
I was thinking about meditation for some reason. Don't worry about that one. That's meditation is for downtime shit. Anyway. Okay. If everyone, you're spot on. Your instincts are good, and that's a good spot to put that.
Yeah, it's an Overwatch experience.
If everyone can see my screen, we're gonna go through HUD setup. Some of you I've already done this with, but for everybody else that is on controller or simply just wants to see enemy cast bar, we're gonna want to go through this. So follow along. You're going to go to System and HUD Layout. It's going to open up all this crazy right here. We need this box, so do not close this box. Some of you will have a target info box up here. Mine is already separated, but it will be one box by itself. That is what I want you to click on. Once you have clicked on that, say that again.
The target bar, sorry.
Yeah, the target bar. Once you have that highlighted, you actually do need to click on it. Go back to your little layout box and click the settings. Click the little settings cogwheel. That's going to turn your box into this. And you are going to check mark the box that says display target info independently. It will separate your target bar into 3 things. Target info HP. You can go ahead and leave that at the top or put that where you want it to be. Target info status. And lastly, there'll be a target info progress bar you can click on as well. So once you have checkmarked that box and they have separated all 3, before you close out of this window, you're going to want to make sure that these 3 down here, first of all, display element needs to be checkmarked for all of them. Change this one for the target info progress bar to something big. I have mine at 180. You could put it at 200. You could put it at 160. You're probably going to want it at 140 or above, though. I'm going to tell you that right now. And I'll explain why in a second. But you've got to change these settings before you come out of here and can start like tinkering with them. And when you guys are done with that, let me know and we'll move on.
All right, I just finished mine.
Okay. Anybody else?
Okay.
Okay, that's 2. Any others?
I believe I did this already.
Okay. All right, I'll move on. Going once, twice. Okay, we moving.
Oh, to the gentleman in black.
Click the save button. You do need to save this before you close the window. Save it, and then go ahead and X out of that window. Once you're out of that window, you'll notice your target info is now separated into 3 separate boxes. You can click these boxes. So go ahead and move your HUD layout buddy out the way. Put that off to the side somewhere. Leave the HP bar where it's at because you're already used to looking up there. It will now have a percentage with it as well, by the way. So that's pretty cool. Status needs to be under your HP bar. It is important that these 2 hang out together. Does that make sense? And then lastly, you'll have a target info progress bar. And it's probably up here with these other 2. Go ahead and take that, drag that down to over above where your buttons are. Oh, shit, my kid. Oh. So from wherever it is, move it down here. I'm going to back out real quick so I don't mess up my own HUD. Go back in.
It was called target info.
Yep, target info, and then it'll have progress bar in parentheses after it. The progress bar is the one that you're moving. The HP bar and the status bar need to be buddies. Wherever you decide to put them on your screen, you can put them wherever you want. They're happy little trees. Put them however you like. But wherever you put them, they do need to be together. It is important because what that does, the HP bar is your boss. Whatever boss or trash mob that you're fighting, that's going to be their HP. Your status is whatever status you inflict on them. So remember, we had our talk about feint, we had our talk about addle, we had our talk about like adding damage over time to bosses. It will show up in this box. So you want these to be together because if you put this anywhere else, you're going to be mad confused about who that belongs to. Who are these debuffs for? So make sure that they're together just to make things easy on yourself. The progress bar is the one that you want to move, and you want to put that. You could put it smack dab in the middle of your screen for all I care, somewhere that you have no choice but to look. So mine is front and center, right over my buttons. It basically goes over my character when something is being cast, so I have no choice but to see it.
Mhm.
And when you're done with that, let me know.
I'm done.
Cool. So there are some other things that you can change in here. If you feel so inclined. For example, your party list. I have mine set up over here. It's this box. So when I get in a fight, all of my friends' names are over here to my left, and I know that. I also have something called an enmity list. This list pops up when you have more than one target. So if you're in a boss fight and that boss spawns abs, there'll be a list of things that you can target. If you are in a dungeon and there's a whole big group of trash mob ads, they'll all be in this list. You probably want to put that somewhere where you're willing to look at it as well. Just to keep in mind. The other one is your limit gauge. So mine is all the way over here in this upper left corner. You can move that. If you want to put that somewhere else where you want to have a better eye on it while you're in fights, feel free to drag and drop that bad boy wherever you want to. It's your world, bro. It is your world. Go right ahead. And then the last one that I'm going to point out to you are the alliance lists. So somewhere on your screen, you'll have two boxes that say alliance list 1 and 2. Move those somewhere, because when you're in an alliance raid, those will be the other two groups. I used to have mine sitting under my party list. I decided I didn't care for that, so I actually moved it to the other side over here. And they're now on the right for me, just because I decided I didn't want them there, if that makes any sense. Depending upon the class you're in, you'll also have gauges that you can move about. I've moved mine. So all of my gauges for whatever class are always on my right side at the bottom here. You can actually change the way these look too, if you wanted to. So if you don't want your gauge to be all big and decorative and you just kind of want something simple, in your HUD layout box, you're going to click on the cogwheel. And there's a box in here that says switch job gauge to simple mode. You can check mark that box. And it will change the way that it looks. You can change the size of it also if you want to make it bigger or smaller. That is also an option for you too. Anything that you change though, you're going to want to hit save when you're finished, okay? The last thing that I'm going to have you look at in your HUD layout is your duty action box. Duty actions are actions that are specific or special to whatever fight or situation that you are in. So these are not always a thing, but they are a thing sometimes, and that sometimes is enough that you're going to want to put this somewhere where you can see it for when you need to use it. There are several boss fights. There are several open world zones that will give you access to duty actions. So you are going to want to be aware of where that is on your HUD and make sure that it is somewhere where you are able to recognize what you're looking at when it does come up. There is a status info box that you can move around if you're interested in that. There's your mini map, you can move that around. There's your duty list, you can move that around. If you have a pet, so summoners, talking to you, there's a pet hotbar that you can actually arrange as well. And at the bottom, you have your experience bar and your parameter bar, which shows your XP and your HP and MP. So you can move those too if you really want to. Just little stuff like your inventory grid, your guild, and just kind of check out the boxes that you have in here and arrange your HUD to your liking so that you kind of know where everything is. You know what I'm saying? You can mimic mine, but I'm on an ultra wide, so that plays a heavy hand in why my shit is set up the way that it is. If you mimic mine and you're not on an ultra wide, you may get in a fight and realize that this shit is mad crowded and I do not like it. In which case, you can always change it. Happy little trees. The biggest thing and the most prominent was the cast bar. That target info progress bar is the biggest thing. You want these separate because you want to be able to see that cast bar. This is the difference between a good player and a great player. Knowing the cast bar and being able to use it to dodge stuff and prepare for attacks. That is going to be your biggest thing, honestly. Questions? Okay. I'm going to close out. I'll give you guys a few minutes to finish adjusting your HUD.
Mooney's got a question.
Oh, what? What's your question? How do we use the duty action on KB and M? What is KB and M?
Keyboard and mouse.
Do what?
Mouse and keyboard.
Keyboard and mouse.
Oh, I don't know.
I thought you just click on it. I've been clicking on my stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can just click it as far as I know. Sessions AFK. Hey, Lix, do you know how to use the duty actions on mouse and keyboard?
You just,
you just click it.
Yeah,
You just click it?
It pops up and you'll click it.
Like.
Or you ask, oh yeah. Yeah, you just click it.
Yeah,
when it pops up.
mine's right here.
If you're on controller, you can
just click it.
push the left or right stick in to use it.
Yeah.
People have claimed they can't interact with it on mouse and keyboard or on controller, because controller players may struggle. You have to hold one of the bumpers down and then press the right or left stick in, depending upon, to get to it if you're on controller. On keyboard and mouse, they're lying to you. They can click it. You can just straight click on that shit. It should work. Which die do I like better?
Make a keybind for it, although personally I wouldn't suggest doing that since it's very situational. And it's just easier to mouse click your duty action rather than key binding it.
Okay. So that covers that. The last thing I'm going to kind of run through is just some basic jargon and some other things that I often get questions about. So you can continue to look at my screen if you want to. For the markers piece, you're going to have to, because it won't show up unless we're in party. Pony, I'll add you to party so you don't have to share my screen because I know you're streaming. So that you can see these. If anybody else wants to be added to party too, let me know. I can do it that way. I'm just doing it so Pony doesn't have to drag his Discord over because I know he's streaming.
I'm in streamer mode, so nobody should get.
You got me to party as well. I'm streaming as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, you're Spiral, right? I'm not tripping. No, you're not. Yeah,
Spiral. Yada.
Sorry, it's Yada. Sorry.
Thank you.
Shit. There you go. Okay. Okay. So I got one on my head right now. We call this the Danger Dorito. I don't know why it's called the Danger Dorito when it's supposed to be an indicator of safety. You might have already seen this. People will put this on a player that knows what they're doing so that they can follow them when they're in fights. When you're zoomed all the way out, that big ass triangle is really easy to see. So when there's an attack coming that you're anticipating, you just look for the triangle and you go to wherever the triangle is. That's how that's utilized. You may see some different variations of it. For example, oh my god. This, people will usually use the plus symbol to mark healers. There is also this, which is a do not stand on that person. People put this on tanks a lot. This is it's literally a don't follow them, don't stand on them, don't be by them is what that's for. Any of the white ones, the squares, the circles, the triangles, the pluses, these are usually used to help guide. So somebody that's wearing these, you can follow and you'll know that you'll generally be in a safe spot. You also have numbers 1 through 8. Typically, only the 1 and the 2 will get used. People will use them to mark healers a lot of the time. For super high-end content, these have specific uses. There's magic out there that exists that will use these first 3 most of the time. I think is it more in top, Lix? How many get used in top?
I don't know.
No, you're not there. Okay.
Yeah, I think 4. I'm not
Okay.
entirely sure, but generally, like, you'll be seeing more than 2 in high-end stuff.
Yeah, and these are used to signal specific order for specific mechs a lot of the times with these. Most of the time, you'll get the 1 and the 2 on healers, though. You can also use these as a healer variation as well. Some people find the white ones grating and it blocks their view, so they'll use the purple ones because they're a little easier on the eyes. These mean stay away, though. I don't care what instance you're in. If somebody's got this on somebody, it means that they're telling you to stay away from them.
Thank you for the follow.
Unless it's
We in
just
school
a
today.
tank indicator, in case
Yeah.
if you do have party
We learning
stacks,
how
your
to
tanks
play
will
Final
come.
Fantasy.
Don't run away just because your little do not disturb
From high level
signs are
players.
there.
This is
True.
There's a party stack.
a
that's not
FC
gonna hinder,
event,
just
free
come in to
company
hug
event.
You, give you a little kiss, and then leave.
Very true. Very true. Other markers exist in the game as well, and I get a lot of questions about these. So if you're looking at my screen, you'll see them. But there are 2 sets, 4 letters: A, B, C, and D. And then you also have your 1, your 2.
Oh, y'all put those down manually? I thought it was a part
Your
of the raids.
3 and 4. You can put them down automatically. Most people have them saved. So if you look underneath, if you open, so Control M on your keyboard will open this waymarks menu. These are waymarks. These are used most of the time in high-end instances, but if you've been in the Crystal Tower raids, you may have seen them there as well. The A's, the B's, and the C's to indicate where you're supposed to be going. They get used a lot in high end, however, though, too. They're markers. And markers very simply signal where you need to go, depending upon what job or what role you are playing. There are some standard ones that you will see. I'm going to try to set this up very quickly. I'm very bad at manual waymarks, but we're going to do our best. Delta is usually west. Right. And then Bravo will be east. These are cardinal directions. North, south, east, west. Cardinal. A will always be north, or should always be north. C will always be south, or should always be south. This is sometimes referred to as true north directions. It means that this is the actual compass. These are the actual cardinal directions. You also have something called intercardinals, also known as intercards. And these are quite literally what they sound like, the in-between of 2 cardinal directions. What do I have a hold of right now? 3? Okay. And 4. This is a really standard layout that you'll see a lot of times in Savage and sometimes Extremes for markers. Clock positions. If you notice, it looks like we're standing in the middle of a clock, with A being north, aka 12 o'clock, C being south, aka 6 o'clock. So if you ever hear somebody say clock positions, this is what they're referring to. These are things that are usually decided before the fight even starts, and they will do it by using the 1 marker. So when you guys queue in, somebody will put a 1 marker down. Oh my god, it's crooked. Hold on. And just do like that. It's still crooked. Whatever. We're going to use the C today. Are we going to use the C today? Hold on. No. I got it. Hey, why are you like this today? Whatever. I don't know. I don't care. We'll use C. You can use any of the markers to do it, but most people will use a square because it's easier. Here, we'll use the 4. Let's pretend that we're queuing in right here, and this is the start of the instance, right? People will decide on clock positions by standing around or aligning themselves with parts of these. For those of my raiders in here that know where clock positions are and where you're supposed to be, you can take them now if you want to. It'll help me explain. But I need 2 people to turn into tanks for me and 2 people to turn into healers for me, if you could, please.
I could be a tank.
Okay. All right. So main tank will usually stand right here in the middle of the front side of the marker. This indicates that their clock spot is A. Off tank will stand at the back, indicating that their clock spot is C. This changes depending upon what high-end instance you are in. But off tanks are usually either C or B most of the time. So we'll just do a generic standard. We'll have you stand back here, Rain, at C. Healers will stand off to the sides. So we'll have healer group 1 on the left side and healer group 2 on the right side. And then from there, the DPS kind of fill in. So typical acceptable social rule of thumb is that the physical ranged player will take this corner here. They'll be the 1 marker. The caster will take this corner here, indicating that they are the 2 marker. And then the 2 melees will decide based on which group of light party
Another
they want
follower.
to be in.
Thank you
what
so
they're doing
much.
back here. Light party 1 melee will
We're
go
in,
here. Light party 2 melee will go here.
Final Fantasy class to help with raids.
And that's how you will signal where you're going for clock spots in any given instance. And what that means is once the fight starts and shit starts getting crazy and somebody calls clock spots, you're going to run to that corresponding marker. So if I'm a fizz range, this is home. Somebody says clock spots, this is where I'm going. Right? Light parties, or group 1 and group 2, are exactly what it sounds like. It is 2 groups of a tank, a healer, and 2 DPSs. For group 1, the makeup is usually main tank, fizz ranged, healer 1, and melee run. For group 2, it's usually off tank, healer 2, caster, and melee 2. Any question about that? Cool. Beautiful. Excellent. Any questions about waymarks, markers in general before I teach you how to like save these?
One question. As a controller player, because I know you mentioned it kind of sucks to set up manual markers, because I know it's best to save those slots for like the savages and extremes. So what setting you normally use to make your way markers? Or
So I will usually hit Control M to get the window open. But from there, I use my select key to get into the window, and then just A to select or deselect whatever letter or number I'm working with. And then I will hold down the bumper to zoom in and out. If I don't want to move my actual body or can't move my actual body. And then I just literally walk it to where I want it to be and set it down. I am more prone to save other people's markers though, because it is such a pain in the ass on controller to set this stuff up.
Well, you can save other people's
Yep.
markers? How?
Yep. So go ahead and hit Control M on your keyboard, everybody, to open the waymarks menu. And what you will notice is beneath the waymarks menu, you'll have a bunch of slots. There's nothing in any of them for you guys, I'm assuming, if you've never been in high end. You're going to pick an empty slot, and you're just going to click on it. And that will save the markers.
The markers already have to be set up, though, by somebody else in order for you to save.
True.
Oh. I did not know that. Because there's definitely been a few in extremes and sometimes alliance people put down, and I would be wanting to save them.
Go on and hit that Control M, and then you'll be able to save. They typically don't work outside of instance, which is kind of stupid, and I hope that they change that. I'm not going to hold you. It's really silly that it's not a thing. But once you're in an instance, if you wanted to save something that someone's using, you're like, damn, that's pretty good, I'm going to keep those. You can.
Sorry, I missed.
And then they will be instant specific. And from there, if you decide to go in, you can hit Control M and then just click on the ones that you have saved, and they'll pop up.
I'm sorry, I moved it. I misclicked.
Yep. What's happening? All right. That's it for all the basics. Does anybody have any questions about anything?
I have one more. I have one question.
Yeah, go.
Sure.
When does the first? My apologies. I accidentally moved the A. And second, where do range DPS stand? Because I have a gun.
Range DPS are usually northwest or where the 1 marker is. That is usually their designated clock spot. They can be northeast where the 2 is, but I look, personal preference. I be fighting. I prefer to be on this side.
Okay.
as a
Like
fizz
the one with the
ranged.
tank.
I look. It's stupid being it too. I don't like it. It's backwards.
But like, so range and physical can be in the same spot.
Physical ranged and caster are your two ranged that you have. So you're either a dancer, a bard, or a machinist, and that would be here. This would generally be your home. Or you're a magic caster, like a summoner or a black mage, and then this would generally be your home. It can change.
Okay.
Depending on the high-end instance that you are in, that may not be true. Some of these fights change the way shit is done, and so it is really a case-by-case basis, and you would learn whatever that is when you get to that fight. But what I've taught you here today about A being north, C being south, intercards, cardinals, and light parties, that stuff typically carries over. As does partners. If you notice, all the colors are right next to each other. Typically, you will be paired with the person that has the same color. So if you're playing a fizz ranged and this is your main tank, that's your partner if you have to do buddies or partners or pairs. And so on and such forth throughout the thing. Again, can change. But as a general rule of thumb, this is kind of how it goes down. Any more questions?
Just to kind of give like a little bit of history as to why this is the case scenario is because 14 has initially been designed that you can just pick a spot and that's just a role that you've learned to do mechanic wise. It's not truly indicative of like what job you play, but this has changed. So now in every content that we do moving forward, it's practically a requirement that the cardinal spots, so all the letters, are handled by the supports, so your tanks and your healers, and then the numbers or intercard spots are handled by your DPS. And 99% of the time, the 1 and 2 belongs to the fizz range and caster, and those spots are also static. So you will rarely see a fizz range go to 2 or northeast and a caster go to 1 or northwest, but this can happen. And then the melees are 3 and 4. Now those are much more interchangeable by concept. Those are the most interchangeable by technicality. But that's just because of how the game has evolved over time, just because of how people like to maintain a structure. So there are certain fights, even in this current raid tier by pure example, that if you are a 1, like the fizz range example, there are mechanics that the fizz range only does that the caster does not do, and that's not up for a discussion in the party finder, for example. But that doesn't digress the idea that you shouldn't learn what they do in case, because let's say that person dies, if you are number 2, you are the backup for that particular role in case something goes wrong. Right now in the party finder, people kind of tend to not do that. So if that person's not doing their part, or if they get killed in the process, like it's just kind of like a GG restart scenario. But it would be very helpful to avoid that scenario if you are playing a certain role and like make the adjustment as possible. But this is mostly applied to the tanks and melees, since tanks are very interchangeable, and so are melee too. So if you're like 4 and you're southwest, for example, there is a chance that somebody else might also be southwest and 4. So it is helpful to learn southeast and 3, because like mechanically how you operate will be similar, but just the position might be slightly different. So depending
You're
on what
basically
role
mirroring.
you play,
Depending upon what you're doing.
whatever what role you play, I would just highly recommend learning both, whatever your letter is, and then both numbers. It's not always a requirement, but it's just like a nice little.
It's nice. Like if you're trying to delve deeper into like, I want to raid and I want to be able to like save the raid if something goes wrong, knowing what's happening on your mirror side is really helpful. So like you said, for example, I'm over here vibing. Oh shit, I'm dead. Ori decides she wants to save the raid. It is savable. She may come over here and do whatever I'm supposed to be doing in that moment that I physically can't to keep things going. So yeah, it's a plus if you're trying to delve deeper and like really truly get into high end. Once you know what you're supposed to be doing, you can start looking at doing it on the other side, or start looking around at what some of the other jobs are doing, and that can help deepen your understanding of whatever the fight that you're in is. That is everything I had for y'all. Stone Sky Sea, by the way, is an unlocked chain for each expansion. So I'm going to put this in the call for you guys so that you can find where all of the unlocks are and get them unlocked for whatever expansion that you are in. That is a Wikipedia guide. just open that up. It will tell you where each NPC is, and where you can go in to test out different fights from different expansions in that regard.
One more thing that is
Yeah.
universal. Can you talk about the nomenclature for raids and trials and stuff?
Yeah, that's not a problem.
I know that's pretty confusing. You just start hearing people say, "Oh yeah, P-E fucking
Okay.
Tiger."
Oh,
You're
okay.
like,
So you're talking about
"What?"
the titles, the naming conventions. Okay.
Yeah.
So at this point, this game is over 10 years old. There are 6 full expansions that all have the same formula to content. Raiders have come up with a naming convention to identify what raids they're talking about. So before we can get into that piece, I'm going to give you a quick rundown of the types of content that are in the game. First of all, we have dungeons. Dungeons are 4-man content. You guys know this. There's 3 bosses in each dungeon. You've got some hallways with a bunch of trash mobs. You go through those hallways, you get all 3 bosses, boom, you're done. 4 people, right? 1 tank, 1 healer, 2 DPS, any makeup falling under that rule. You also have 8-man fights, right? Where it's a single boss in the middle of the room, is 80 y'all, 2 tanks, 2 healers, 4 DPS, you double them up. There are 2 types of those. There are trials. Those are fights that are introduced while you're going through MSQ. And then there are raids. Raids are optional. Raids happen outside of MSQ. They are their own separate storyline, and you do not have to do them to continue with the main story quests. They have the same makeup. 2 tanks, 2 healers, 4 DPS, 8 people. 1 boss, right? Raids are what Yada is asking about when he says nomenclature. So if you still have my screen up, just as a visual guide to kind of help with that, each expansion will have their own sets of raids. We're not talking about Alliance right now. Ignore the Alliance raids. We're just talking about normal raids right now. Each series after A Realm Reborn, because A Realm Reborn be doing whatever it want to do, will have a total of 12 fights. These are released in 4s. So you'll get 1, 2, 3, 4. Then a couple patches will go by. Then you'll get 5, 6, 7, 8. A couple patches will go by. Then you'll get 9, 10, 11, 12. People have come up with a naming convention based on 1 through 12 for each raid series. The Alexander raids, for example, these would be known as A and then number. A1, A2, A3, and so on and such forth, all the way up to A12. If you are doing the Savage versions, you're going to tack an S on the end. So A1S, A2S, A3S, so on and such forth, all the way up to A12S. They never refer to them by the names. You see how it's got this Fist of the Father, Arm of the Father, Eyes of the Creator. Nobody that raids is calling them this. So if you walk up on a raider and you're like, hey, can you help me finish Heart of the Creator? They're going to be like, what number is that? I don't know what Heart of the Creator is. Is that Alex? Okay, what number? They're going to expect you to go count and figure out what number it is. It's really easy to count, break them off into 4s. This is true for all of the raids. So Alexander, or the Alex raids, are A for Alexander. The Stormblood raids, Deltascape, Sigmascape, Alphascape, are actually O. And that is because of the storyline. The storyline follows a character by the name of Omega. Okay, this is something that's introduced during the series. This is also the way that the dev team refers to these raids when they're talking about them in like live letter or convention scenarios. So Omega will never be Deltascape when you're talking to a raider. It'll never be Sigmascape when you're talking to a raider. You are literally going to have to figure it out and be like, oh, I need you to help me with 08 or 08S or 012S, right?
Thanks for the alert,
if
homie.
you don't know the naming
we
conventions,
in school right now,
that's
so it's gonna
fine.
get boring.
You can ask. You can ask. The way that you ask, just go, what's the letter for these raids? Somebody in a room gonna be a raider and they gonna answer you.
I 100% guilty.
Eden, well, I mean, it's fine. When it comes to rating, there are no stupid questions. I'm gonna just put that out there right now. I know that sounds silly, and I know that a lot of you guys, your anxiety is like, she's a liar. That's not true. It's true. I would rather you ask me and not fuck up than keep it to yourself and then make a mistake. And then I'm looking at you like, hey, bro, what the fuck? And then you're like, well, I didn't understand it. The first thing I'm gonna be like is, why didn't you ask? Eden raids are named after E. Obvious reasons. It's literally right here. So if you come to me and you say I need to do Eden's verse, there's only one Eden raid I will recognize by name, and that is Sepulture. And that's because that's my favorite raid in the game. You bring me any of these other ones, I'm gonna be like, what? I don't know which one that is. So Eden series is E. The Endwalker raids. What did we decide on? Pandemonium? Is that what they called them? P.
Yes.
P
Yeah,
for
that's it.
Pandemonium because that's the place that it takes place. So see how this also has A? Alexander has A, so we obviously can't use A again, right? So we use P. P1, P1S, P2, P2S, P8, P8S. Don't scream. Don't scream. We're not going.
That's fine again.
Boo.
All the way
Oh,
up to
we're
Dawn
going.
Trail. All the way up to Dawn Trail, which is
not
not fully
missing-
released. So I have everything in the game unlocked.
I'm in,
if you're looking at
um,
my screen, you'll notice
I'm in
there's
a
only
Final
8
Fantasy
raids
school,
listed
so
here.
it's gonna
That's
get a
because
little
this is
boring.
still ongoing right now. This
They
is
showed
current
me
content.
how to like to do the high level stuff.
The Dawn Trail raids are referred to by
good to
the
see you,
M
Missy. How are you
at
today?
the end. So M1, M2, M3, M4, M5, M6, M7, M8. And then for the Savage version, you're just going back an S on the end of that.
Yeah, it's a community run.
Questions? What about chaotic?
I mean, there's only one.
There is only one, and right now it's referred to as the worst place in the entire game. I'm kidding. It's just
No.
called a chaotic raid.
Anyways,
What do
yeah,
you
we call it-
mean, no?
We call it
It's
the
CAR for
current.
short.
It's gonna be car.
Is it
but
car?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just called
Chaotic
car.
Alliance raids, CAR.
Realistically, if we get one next patch or at the end of the expansion, they will just put car at the end, but then the name of it is at the beginning or whatever the alliance is. So right now with Cloud of Darkness, since it's COD, it's just COD. So we call
COD
it COD
car.
Yeah. But let's say, for example, we get like Diablos,
it.
assuming that they kind of keep the convention of how the concept comes out, because you know, Cloud of Darkness is the final boss in the World of Darkness, and so COD is what it is. So if you know the Dunscape final boss, it'll be D, so it should be D car theoretically.
Oh, you
So
know
we'll
what? That's
see,
not
like,
so
how
bad.
that-
I'll take a D
Yeah,
car.
we'll see how it
That's
like,
cool.
plays out.
We don't know yet because we only have
Car.
one.
Yeah.
We only have one. By the way, the rewards better be good because I know y'all are gonna make me go. Y'all put me in the fucking van. I don't want to be there. I don't like Diablos now.
The rewards for this one weren't bad.
Yeah,
Oh, did you see the
they
game?
weren't enough. I didn't care for the armor. Honestly, I'm not
Well,
gonna hold
yeah,
you.
Put
Good.
it on, Lex.
Put what on?
People
She's not
still
here.
even
I don't think
do
she's out here. Are you out here, Liz?
chaotic.
No,
Oh, Lex
I don't
was
know where you
streaming
guys
a
are at.
second ago.
You have the
Well, then
armor,
watch your
Rel. I saw you pull up. Put the armor on.
Yeah, put it on, Rel.
Yeah, you bragging about it and shit.
Where are you guys at?
You got that
We're
shit on.
Stone Sky for Heaven's Word.
Where the fuck is that?
I put it in the call. There's a map. There's a map screenshot in the call.
I have this piece. Give me a sec.
Oh, you gotta leave soon,
Ugly
Hannah?
ass fucking army. Yeah, I think Session has to leave soon. In which case, that's totally fine. We have experts here that can teach.
Oh, that
Hey, Yada gotta
armor,
leave
I
soon.
love how it
I
looks.
have to drop
Oh.
off as well.
It dies.
Okay.
You gotta go too.
Yeah,
Okay.
like
Is
7:15.
it gonna be like another one of these flight school sessions?
Yeah, we were talking it over on the side, and for anything from here on out will probably be class training, to be honest, because you guys already have the basics. I can refresher and answer questions if we do another one, but it'll probably just be tailored class training. In which case, I don't know every class at a raid ready level, so I'd probably point you to other people depending on what it is.
Bray.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you all. I'll hopefully be raiding
Nice to
soon
meet you.
in the near future. All right. Peace out.
Catch you later, Splash.
Yeah.
So there's the chaotic armor. I'm done. All the general overarching stuff that I had to cover, I have covered. For those of you that are interested in learning your class a little bit better, myself, Lix, and Rel can help out. Session is still here, but he may have to leave soon. So depending upon what it is,
Yeah,
go
I can
from
hang
there.
for like a couple more minutes. I just wanted to also quickly cover. I know that you said like the nomenclature of rating, but there is also nomenclature for ultimates and extreme trials.
Yeah, we didn't cover
Um,
those.
We don't have to immediately cover ultimates, but I will say that just because everyone is most likely either tuning into the story, does the story, or doesn't do the story. We call the EXs, so the extreme versions or the trials, by their number of release order. That way, just so it doesn't immediately spoil it for story's sake, because a lot of people who really love the story do not like to know which the boss fights are. So, in case you're talking about an extreme trial, just call it by like EX 1 through 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
Or just like call it like the trial. People, even if it's like an old trial like Ifrit or Thornton, whatever the trial was at, like just refrain from using it by the actual like name of the boss fight. It does actually go a longer way than you realize.
Yeah, that's actually really good etiquette. You can count if you don't want to spoil it. So like us, a lot of times we'll be like, "Hey, I'm about to go do the trial." Which trial? The third one. And that's referring to the list that it shows up, the order it shows up in the duty finder. He's right. I completely missed that. That's an etiquette thing though too. So just so that you're not spoiling it. So when you guys get into Pony, I know you're about to start Stormblood. If you have Star in the party with you, and she doesn't want to know, for example, and you're like, "Hey, I need to do this trial." Which trial? The fourth one. And that will tell the people who have done it what fight they're about to go into while not spoiling it for other people.
Funny enough, you guys have been pretty spoiler free for me, so like I usually don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, we're pretty good about it.
You want to see what it looks like on you? Examine licks and then right click and try on pieces, and then you can dye them whatever color you want. I don't know what monstrosities
So we ended up in fruit last night.
Okay, this looks cool.
There we go.
I'm dead.
If you didn't know, by the way, when you're trying on things, there's an option called save/delete for outfits. If you click the save outfit, you can try on multiple pieces together at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you can mess around with dye patterns and stuff.
Alright. Any more questions? Because if not, we can do breakout groups and we can go through and learn about individual classes.
I'm taking the group that does Black Mage.
Okay.
I do have a question. I gotta bounce in like a couple minutes. I gotta go back to work. Is
That's
there
fine.
anybody I can talk to about healing or specifically like White Mage later?
White Mage.
Oh my god, can you stop for a moment? So that's Lix. All of us, so all three of us, me, Lix, and Rel can teach White Mage at different advancing levels. Lixus is probably going to be the most thorough because she yells at me for some of the shit that I use in the way that I use it. But Rel is also a good option. Presence of mind? Presence of mind right now? Right now?
Suggest that you're doing it.
Presence
is your 2 minute.
No, right now.
You have to be
Right now. Start of the fight, right now. Right now. I go burr, right now. Start of the fight.
We going in the lion's den? Wait, if I'm the wolf's den?
You have options, but Lixus is probably going to be the most thorough for you, and Lix is pretty good at teaching babies, so I don't know if you're out here with us where you can like send a friend request, but that's the one that you won't.
Sure. All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I can give you the basis of how you're supposed to be healing as a healer in general, but if you're wanting something in depth, yeah. Oh God, don't do that.
Do not fucking go to Relic if you have a scholar question. Please, for the love of God, I would rather you fumble scholar and try to learn it yourself than speak with Relic.
So,
don't
ability for
Oh God, here we go.
No, don't listen. Don't
Just to
listen.
quickly plug myself in here, literally. I am heading out, but I play every job in this game, and I session am available. You can DM me any questions you have. There are stupid questions, but there also have answers that will at least be fruitful regardless. So it's okay to have like a dumb question. Just literally be like, "What's a cure 1?" I can tell you that, but it doesn't matter. It's knowledge, right? But yeah, my DMs are always open in case there is any question about rating, ultimates, trials, job. Like I'm old,
Send
so
him
I know.
a friend. Yeah, he's been here probably the longest out of all of us. Send him a friend request on Discord if you are wanting class questions from set. All four of us can answer questions about classes to some extent. If I can't answer you, I will give you references to get the answer. But all 4 of us can give you me, Lixus, Relic, Session. Shit, even Afro's quiet ass. Although Afro ain't really got the patience for baby teaching yet.
I do.
Yet. Afro can help a lot with melees as well. So.
Oh snap!
Okay.
Rilla
All
wants
right.
to know how long it takes to properly cook basmati rice. Session.
35 minutes if you're being realistic.
I'm mad you had an answer.
Sorry.
Write that down. Write that down.
Write that down. For
Session.
now. Yeah, go ahead.
I have a dumb question.
Hmm?
I have a dumb question for Session. Did
What's
you
that?
start using milk?
Nope.
Did you start using milk?
Nope. And I ain't gonna start today or tomorrow.
Oh my god.
Damn it!
Everybody knows Sessions eats Cheerios dry. Yeah,
Shut
that's
the
crazy.
fuck up.
Everyone knows. Shut up about something everybody already knows.
This is a
It's
known
crazy.
fact, alright? You may
The
as well
Cheerio
put it in
Bandit.
stream titles.
Lord.
Not cereal dry.
Cheerio
For
Bandit.
now,
That's crazy.
in
No.
game.
It needs to be emphasized that it's Cheerios. Okay?
Cereals.
Yeah, but that's the
That's the
thing. It ain't
problem.
even
Cereal on
like
the
the
whole, I
honey
don't
nut
care.
ones. It's
You're
just
right, that's the
regular
problem, bro.
dry-ass
Like, who do you
fucking
mean?
Cheerios.
Yeah, I
I'm-
used to
Alright,
eat
I'm declining every friend
alphabet
request.
cereal.
Is
Oh
good.
my god.
I just wanted to know if you
Regular Cheerios, I
reformed.
don't know.
No. I will say though, I had a bagel with cream cheese untoasted, and I'm sure that's going to spark like a debate. So I'm gonna get out here.
Did you
That
did
was
you at least
upsetting.
split it?
That was mildly upsetting. I'm
Did
not
you
gonna
at
lie.
least split it?
No.
Like
it's
cut it in
crazy.
half. I did split it into
what
2
he
slices.
did-
Yeah, he
Okay,
said
okay,
untoasted,
okay,
bro. That
at
was real.
least.
He just said that.
Oh
Didn't
yeah,
even cut it in half.
You
untoasted
just
with
bit
cream
into it
cheese.
and then just cream.
You
it.
know what? Session about to go live, so if you want to yell at him for it, Moon, just go.
No, I'm
just
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
not.
yeah.
The dinner thing.
Oh yeah, he's
okay.
doing dinner. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's not. Okay. Okay, bye, Session.
Have a good one.
Fun.
Enjoy.
See you later.
For the rest of you that are still here, we have 3 teachers available. Depending upon the class, we can branch you off. Why don't we line up for anybody that wants high-end like optimization maxing advice? Why are you lining up? Yeah. Relic, get. Ooh.
Oh, are we doing? Oh yeah.
No. Everybody
yeah,
except for Relic and Lix. I'm gonna
Yeah.
fucking throw
Yeah,
up,
have
bro.
me
This is so
dance.
stupid.
Look
You know
at
what?
my
I'll talk.
outfit.
I'll talk
Teach
to
me
you.
how to shake it. Teach me
Yeah,
how to
look, I
bounce
got the
on it
shorts
crazy
on for it.
style.
Let's go.
Oh my god. Everybody that's not Lixus and Relic, go ahead and line up. I hate you.
Anyone that doesn't have a shiny
Fucking
weapon,
hate
get
you.
out of here.
Yada, what were you working on today? Ninja?
I was working on Dark Knight just to get it to 100. I'm just going down the
Oh, yeah,
line
that's
and
spoken.
getting
Okay.
everything.
Right there.
So Pony's Yada is gonna go with Lixus.
I actually have to leave in like 3 minutes.
Okay, that's
We'll do
fine.
it later.
We'll put
Don't
a
worry
pin
about
in
it.
it.
But,
Yeah.
Our
Yeah,
Yada, what
yeah.
were you working on today?
See you later, buddy.
yeah, I'll see y'all.
Well, okay.
Don't burn it
are we
down.
going
Later.
over, like, general knowledge of high end? 'Cause,
General knowledge of high end?
yeah. Are we going over like rotation?
This is class specific stuff, so openers,
If
rotations.
you need extra help with other high-end knowledge of stuff,
Yeah, we can do that too.
Also still give that.
I will
Skills and
100%
classes.
say that for later.
Okay.
I'm tired of stuff living. How do I make it die faster?
You want to do Monk, right, Pony?
Yeah.
Go with Relic. Relic will help you with Monk.
The name's abbreviated. I don't.
The big dragon with the glowy
Hold
sword.
on here. This will help.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yada.
I've worked
Dark?
on a lot. I'd say Dark Knight. I'd probably
Go
want-
with
want to
Lixus.
fine-tune. Yeah.
You want Lix?
Hi.
What about you,
Yeah,
Rain?
we're gonna fine tune
See,
this.
that's a tricky question because I don't have a lot of jobs to level up.
That's
He
fine.
wants Viper.
Do you want Viper?
I feel like I already know what I'm doing with Viper.
Okay.
Pressing buttons.
I want to say Black Mage, but like I said, it's only has
You can come with me if you're doing Black
I should have
Mage.
taken a day off.
I promise you, Black Mage.
You
ain't-
probably need a
you
day
ain't
off,
changing much there, buddy.
What about you, Dahlia?
You're guessed it. Bye.
Okay, so I guess it's a little complicated, a little bit. I've been playing since Heaven's War patches, and
It should still be
tanking
in my VODs at least.
just isn't
But I
my
don't think I'm
forte.
gonna be there for.
You want
the
some
tanking
tank
stuff.
tips?
Yes.
Do you have a specific tank you'd want? Or just in general?
I main Dark Knight on my main, but
Mhm.
I do want to do Warrior more.
No,
And
don't do that. Don't
No?
do that. Don't do that.
No, hold on. It's fine. It's fine. You're fine. If you want Warrior, so Lix can get you with the Dark Knight, but Rel can get you with the Warrior. So I will leave it up to you to decide which one you want to go walk with.
Thanks.
Huh?
I mean, who said that?
Since I'm over
Who's
here as a
whispering my name?
warrior, I'm gonna do Warrior.
All right, you're gonna go with what Relic? Go with the big ass T weapon.
Oh god.
Mia, do you want a group? I don't think I can teach you anything. That's crazy. What you trying to learn, Mia?
Listen, everyone who has a shiny weapon should be doing all the teaching. So yeah, teach me something, Mia.
Passion for their fellow man.
Look, just because I got this shiny weapon doesn't mean I'm good at the game. That should be.
I'm gonna keep saying. I done
thing
said
that
it
you guys
about 57
understand.
times this weekend alone. Ulti Raiders eat glue, bro. I don't care.
No.
You don't know how to play the game? Okay.
Listen,
Well,
when you smash your face into a wall enough times, yes, you do start.
Mia, you're gonna have to go to the smith. Okay, that's where you're gonna start for you.
You're gonna have to start by getting your first XP buff fucking ring.
Moon, what you trying to learn today? Scholar? That's a Lix thing.
Oh, that's a Lix thing right
You can go sit over there with Lix.
There's one thing I want
Thank
to.
you for not trusting Sage propaganda and picking up the most goated healer in the game. Facts.
There's one thing I want to
Wait,
Honestly,
you
no,
just
no,
spent
no,
5
stop,
minutes
stop.
trying
No.
to convince me
No,
of
cap,
playing a
Scholar
class
is
I
the most
played. It's crazy.
It's true though. Scholar is the best healer.
Scholar is the most versatile.
Question I have about Scholar.
Oh.
Okay.
How do you even get into Scholar when
to the
you?
library, get a
What? True.
Sorry,
but
shut up. Go ahead, Ray. Go ahead.
How do you get into Scholar when it's already in its 90s and you never touch it because you level up Summoner?
Well, here, let me tell
don't-
you.
Yeah, just look at Rel.
You
The
want you see
good-
this pretty book? You see this pretty book that I have? I haven't
Gotta
done a
have the
single
library.
job quest for Scholar.
Yeah, when he offered to help with Scholar, it's because he doesn't have any job quests unlocked. He was trying to be a
can't
rage
do,
bait
like,
little
any of the
butthead.
abilities.
Yeah.
He could
I
not
mean, that's
help you
perfect
if
because I
you
have
paid
yet to
him.
do any Scholar job quest.
Hey,
I
you know
will
what? Keep it like that. It's funnier.
On a real note,
It
though,
gets
I will
Lix
say
real fucking mad.
you
Alright.
when you go through the story, you will be level synced, so you can get to play with heroes. Like,
All right, I
it's supposed to be.
think everyone here now has the Raiders role, so break off with your respective teachers. Rel, take raid room 1. Lix, you can take raid
Leave
room
my
2.
bread alone.
Okay.
And
Five people come with me.
you can
I'm in,
talk
I'm
about
in-
stuff and
I'm in
things.
Final Fantasy
Pony's
school.
live, by the way, Rel, so don't be down there trying to bust it down sexual style.
What? You telling me not to be myself?
Okay, be yourself, but not
How
like
dare
all of
you.
it.
No, I'm just gonna give Pony races.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
All
right, hop down, Pony. Into
It's
races. It's just the one right below.
It's the FFXIV raids in the Discord. Just hop down in there, and whoever's left in here, we gonna find somewhere to go do black mage things, I guess. Afro.
That's fine.
Poochie something. I forgot what it was called.
Oh yeah, so this
I'm
is
gonna-
just a funny title name because I don't know, with Naruto. we were having a real DJ night at 3 in the morning and I ended up being Kuchikage. I don't know.
Stop trying to take my
Bruh.
bread. Chat.
All right, Pony. What is it that you're trying to focus on? I know you don't have that high of a level with it, so is it just a basic gist of where we're going in direction in terms of monk?
I think I just unlocked the rest of my monk missions, but I wanted to mainly make sure I was doing the right combos in the right order. Cause I kind of just been freestyling and nobody stopped me.
So the cool thing about monk is it is very interchangeable. important to note is which one is going to be your flank finisher and which one is going to be your rear finisher. Those are positional, so that'll be like your snap punch and your demolish. Snap punch being flank, and your demolish being rear. One of these gives you a potency buff. Which one is it? Hold on, where's the potency buff? Guarantees critical hit. Increases potency of boot shine. Yeah, so more or less you want to free float between them. The way that I have mine mapped out is I have one set of combos on my main hotbar, and I have the equivalent set of combos below it. And I do the first set, and then I do the second set, and then based on your debuff timers, or your buff timers, sorry, based on your buff timers, when they're starting to drop off is when you want to start free floating between the combos.
Okay.
And as you free float, you'll start building up gauge. When you get to a higher level, the gauge becomes more important. As you are right now, it's not super important. The main focus should be learning how to free float between your two combos.
Okay.
Monk is like super fluid in terms of how they mess around with their stuff.
Okay, because like I figured that it might have been the case only because like I said, nobody stopped me, and I have fighting game experience, so I just been doing stuff.
Yeah, it really is. You do like Buchan, True Strike, Snap Punch, your Dragon Kick, your Twin Snake, your Demolish, and then as your different buffs start to fall off is when you'll be cycling through. I need to play Monk more because I just transferred to Monk and
Same.
realized I had 2 abilities that are obsolete. I had to take them off my hotbar.
Oh, so
Yeah, they
tank,
no
I
longer
mean,
exist.
a monk have. Oh. Yeah.
We
that's
lost.
right.
We lost meditate and we lost. Started with an A.
Yeah, we get inspired meditate now, right?
Yeah, there's a bunch of silly stuff. But yeah, your main one is just really, for now, being at the level that you're at, is focusing on your buff timers and at which point, like your True Strike or your Twin Snakes will give you those buffs.
I don't think I understand how the buffs work. I'm not gonna be honest, because like I just see the funny lights come on, and then like, okay, I think I'm winning.
Yeah, so that's the thing is that you have 2 full combos that give you the funny lights. So that do we have
Because I just got the second bar.
Hold on.
Because like, because during the lesson, I actually was leaving and coming back in with the training.
We are going. Hop in the car.
Hop in hoopty.
Hop in
I
the whip.
want the hoopty too, but I can't do the content just yet.
Alright, I'm gonna take you over to some striking areas. It'll be a lot easier to go through combos. I should put us on a smack.
I mean, yeah, Monk is fun though.
Monk's nice. I think honestly, because of how flowy it is and how much you have to watch your buffs, Monk is one of the more engaging ones.
Ah, that's probably why I like it so much.
Yeah, it is really engaging. So yeah, level 50 one's worth. These are fine. So yeah, main one is paying attention to your Snap Punch and your Demolish. Your Snap Punch is a flank attack, which is from the sides, and your Demolish is a rear attack. So you see the funny opening in your thing here? This means from the rear. If there is an opening in the back of the box when you click on the target, that's where you want your rear positional. And your flank is like like the size of the rear, but on the sides. So picture like a triangle, little pie cut out on the sides. So you can even go close to the front. Like right here will count as a
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you can go like just left, just right of the arrows on the left and right of the boss will count as flanks.
Okay.
And this one makes you do Twin Snake. Rear.
Is that,
that makes you bounce between them. They may have changed. Oh, it does kind of force you out. Interesting.
One of my favorite moves has got to be Dragon Kick.
Oh, Dragon Kick.
Yeah, because it does a lot of
They're
damage.
like, yeah, it goes into a way bigger combo later on.
And I think
I
the
feel like
couples
we're trying to kick with so.
Now I have much more expertise before. That was my very first raid. My very first raiding job. Now. Ah, yeah. All right, what are we trying to learn with warrior?
I'm guessing
Like
my
a ground
mitigation.
zero, you don't have any experience kind of thing.
I somewhat do. Like on my main, I got it up to 70. So I know pretty much what a warrior is up to 70. And when I, made my alt, I know it's kind of bad, but don't knock me. I got her, just bought it up to 90 so I can just be like, okay, I know most of the things from 70. So, my thing is more on the field. I don't know if I'm doing my mitigations right sometimes.
Oh,
I feel
so
like
in general.
yeah. I don't know
Okay,
if
well, I
I'm
can give you some,
got a good
warrior
opener
cases.
or,
So mitigations, there isn't really. It's a fight-by-fight basis. It depends on if the fight starts with a raid wide. It depends on if the O tank is going to cover that. So opener-wise, the opener is pretty static, right? So typically, if I'm main tanking, I'm usually main tanking if I'm playing warrior. With 1 second left on the countdown, I'm throwing a tomahawk, and immediately I'm hitting infuriate. You go through your 1, 2, 3 combo, like your Storm's Eye buff. As soon as you hit your Storm's Eye buff, you're in a really You're popping all your big stuff, pop your gap closes in, hitting all your big hits. You want to hit every Felcleave you possibly can. Bunch of Felcleaves. That'll target your Primal Wrath. Then you'll do another Infuriate. Then you'll do 1, 2, 3 combo. And that will give just enough time to do a third Infuriate. So this last Felcleave, Infuriated Felcleave, that's full opener. It's pretty simple. It is just make sure you get your damage buff up from your Storm's Eye before. So it's get your damage buff up on Storm's Eye, and then you're gonna pot and do inner release, and then do your full just spam Felcleaves basically. But the most important thing that a lot of first-time or fresh warriors forget about is using that stack Infuriate as soon as you throw that tomahawk or right after your first piece of life. Because that starts the timer on getting more Infuriate. So the big thing is, like again, me as a main tank, I establish aggro, hit Infuriate immediately. And then that starts the timer on getting more Infuriates. The more Infuriates you get in a fight, the more damage you do, because that's just a mega buff Felcleave, basically.
So like the Chaotic Cyclone. I see those are light up, and also the inner.
Yes. So yeah. So your Felcleave will turn into something else. Your Decimate. So we're not really worried about the Decimate, except for when you get into the fights that have ads. There are a lot of ad fights. Warrior is not very fun to play in heavy ad-based fights because we don't get we have to have, it's a gain on 4. There has to be, I think, at least 4 or 5 times before you're gaining damage immediately.
Okay.
That's the only real downside to warrior. Big thing that I like to couple is
Hi, Star.
blood wedding.
Aki's not here today.
Release combo.
He gets up like really, really late in the day. Probably like around 9 o'clock.
And you can get
We're probably gonna
a
get
lot
Aki.
of healing.
But we don't have Aki right now.
By using blood wedding during your combo.
You can send him an @ in the Discord and see if he's awake. But other than that, I don't think he's on.
I just crit 3 times there.
Oh,
I just crit healed myself 30k for each hit. Very important in ads as well, using blood wedding. Because not only does it reduce your damage taken by 10%, every weapon skill that you use, it'll heal you. And then it also puts a barrier around whatever target you're using. Bloodwetting can be given to somebody else in the form of an instant flash. So let's say I want to go give it watch Pony's health. I'm going to give him Bloodwetting. It's called Decent. And then every ability I use, it'll heal Pony.
Kind of like the sage. Okay.
Yeah, kind of like that. So there are fun little macros that I use for my tanking. So I have macros set up so I can give Bloodwetting to anybody in my party. Don't be afraid to use Shake It Off for raid wides. Anything that's going to be big incoming damage to the party, Shake It Off is huge. Blood Shake It Off, similar to Divine
It's
Veil
interesting.
on Paladin.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Gives a heal.
It's a lot of stuff I didn't know.
Absorbs.
I gotta ask
maximum
more
HP
about
damage,
the buffs and debuffs and stuff.
etc., etc. In terms of mitigations, what I like to do is for high end with tank busters, because you don't want to use too many mitigations all at once, right? If I'm getting a decent sized tank buster, Damnation by itself, pretty much every tank buster you should be able to pop blood. So Damnation, I think it's called Vengeance. It'll be a 30%. Yeah, it's pretty good. That's a 30% for you now. It turns into a 40%. Couple that with Bloodwetting, and that not only will heal you over time, every weapon skill will also heal you, as well as anything that hits you when you use Damnation or Vengeance will also take damage. So even in dungeon situations, using using Vengeance in dungeon situations will help hold aggro.
How are you today, Star? How you feeling?
Increase
You
your
feeling
damage.
better?
Big overall damage. So Damnation by itself is fine for damn near everything, or Vengeance in your situation. Couple it with Bloodwetting, or the lower level of Bloodwetting.
Equilibrium?
Bloodwetting. Bloodwetting is a different thing. I like, if I'm going to use Equilibrium, I couple it with Thrill of Battle. So I use Thrill of Battle first, because it increases your max HP. And it increases the HP recovery of your own healing actions. So you get more bang for your buck doing Thrill of Battle and then Equilibrium.
Storm's Path will give you healing.
Yes, Storm's Path is your filler combo that you're going to be doing all the way until you need to re-up your damage buff. Storm's Eye is your damage buff. You need to have that on to do Heavy Swing, Maim into Storm's Eye to get your damage buff. And then the rest of your filler will be Storm's Path to increase HP and also increasing your beast gauge is what we're looking for there, though. Big beast gauge. You don't want to overcap on your beast gauge. You're more or less saving that until you're about to overcap it. If you're going to overcap it, do a belt cleave and then build it back up again until you are going to do an inner release first. You'll come to get more comfy with it in higher end content. You can find like the ebb and flow with it. For your 2 minutes, you should be trying to get as many Felkers as you possibly can. On your 1 minutes, which is outside of raid buffs, you're holding back one and making sure that it builds up for the next unit. It's a little funky how it goes. But you want to try to get as many resources pumped in.
Have a good day, Missy.
First, when you see all
Try to stay
of your
cool.
team's buffs hitting your mark. Your heavy swing, your maim, And Storm's Eye. Once the Storm's Eye is done, you pot and inner release. You go through your Primal Rend combo with enough evil. And you're going to do your gap closers with your OGCDs. Once you get all your Bell Cleaves in, Primal Wrath. And you're just going to keep building up until your next 3 days. You'll notice every time you Bell Cleave, it takes 5 seconds off of your Infuriate timer.
What's up, Zavi?
That's why we like.
How you doing today?
Emphasize doing as many Bell Cleaves as possible.
Okay. Also,
I'm
when
good.
it comes to
I'm in
medication
a
stuff,
fight
I know
school.
that I try to pay attention to even when I'm even Dark Knighting too. I don't want to pop the wrong ones. Is casting time like a thing to look at for all of them?
All mitigations are OGCDs, so you can cast because of.
How did you get into
Like
a
the
fight
recast
school?
time.
I got invited to it
Yeah,
by
so
other content
we are
creators.
2.5 seconds typically on a warrior. You can have one that's a bit shorter, but normally you can fit 2 OGCDs in between every GCD. So your normal abilities, like your main combo, if you need to weave in, you can do 2 mitigations in between one attack. So like if I do one attack, I'll go boom, Rampart, Damnation, boom. You can fit them in before the next one.
Okay.
So that's why I usually do a pairing, because even in a panic situation where you don't know, you aren't yourself prepared for the attack that's about to come in, but you notice the cast bar coming, you can quickly just mash like a Bloodwedding into Damnation or a Rampart with a Thrill of Battle. I like coupling Thrill of Battle and Rampart together because they're both 90 seconds, so they'll both be back up in time. And because Rampart is Rampart's a 20% instead of a 40% or 30%, you'll end up taking a little bit more damage. So the Thrill of Battle will increase your health by 10%, while the Rampart reduces your damage. So it kind of offsets. On top of that, when you get a little higher level, Rampart's additional effect increases your HP recovery via your own healing action by another 15%. So you get a 20% from Thrill of Battle and a 15% from Rampart. So if you're going to take a big hit, you do Thrill of Battle and Rampart, and then after you take the hit Equilibrium. You'll just heal it all back up in one button. Yeah, because you're getting double, so like I think the 20% and the 15% like close to a 30% increase in your own recovery. And again, same thing, whenever you need, like if you're taking heavy autos, a lot of raid issues that we have is auto attacks, chipping away at you for burn damage, or bleed damage. Bloodwedding is up every 25 seconds. Do not be afraid to use Bloodwedding. That is like the main draw to Warrior, is the fact that you can get all your health back. That is our favorite thing, is being like, what do you really need you? That really, if you combo your stuff right, you just heal yourself way too well.
Okay. So I've always known with one of my friends, friends who we know she loves Warrior. That's her main tank, and that's the first thing she told us was like pretty much basically I don't like the heat, but you know.
Yeah. If you do it right, and everybody knows the fight, you are like a healer's wet dream. Healers love it because warriors are able to more or less put themselves back together, with the exception of M6S, I would say. M6S, because of the ads and the amount of damage coming in, it doesn't matter what tank you are. You're taking a lot of damage. Yeah, ads phase is no joke with that. Doesn't matter which tank you are. Like, yeah, warrior is helpful in the amount of health it can put back, but you still need healers to babysit you. One other hang up with warrior, it's a boon, and like positive and a negative is their invuln. Warrior's invuln is the shortest cooldown. You can pop off multiple home gangs in the span of a savage fight. So people like we typically like to use and abuse warriors for their invuln. The downside is warrior's invuln needs to have a target within range. If you notice, you click on the striking dummy, you can be out of range and you won't be able to use it. A trick with that, a trick with it, deselect. Untarget. If you untarget, you can just use it. If you're targeted, it'll be out of range and you won't be able to use it. So a lot of people end up dying because they're trying to get away and use their invuln at the same time, not realizing that they're out of range.
Yeah,
so very important, if you're going to be away from the boss and need to use that bad boy, stop selecting the boss. Every other tank can just use it at free roll. Warrior is the only one that has a range requirement if you're selecting something. And that's because it puts the chain on.
That's right, chain.
So the reason why is because the chain forces whatever target that you're targeting to stop moving. Doesn't count for raid bosses, but it does do something for dungeons. The reason why it has that range requirement.
And can you do it with the boss that's in the raid? I mean, in the dungeon? Like the main,
anything that has to do with bosses, except for there are very unique like ARR scenarios where you can even kick bosses. Like you can low blow them and it'll actually stun them. They kind of outsourced it coming into Heaven's Ward. Yeah, it was more of an ARR thing where you were able to actually CC bosses. Another thing, I don't know if you've learned it with tanks, your interject. The interrupting a user's actions. Do you know the difference in the cast bar for when things are interruptible?
Oh yes, when like the spooky said when it blinks and stuff like really fast. I don't see them a lot. Don't catch it because most of the time I am DPSing and healing.
So
I don't pay attention too
it's
much
not that
to
the blinking fast. You're looking for normal cast bars are yellow. If it is interruptible, even as a DPS, because Fizz Range have the ability to interrupt casts as well.
Oh, okay.
If the bar is not yellow, but has an orange outline, or it's orangey red, that means you can interrupt it. So as a tank, you would use interject. And that would interrupt the cast. As a Fizz range, it would be head graze. Yeah, it's head graze. Head graze will also interrupt.
Okay.
Another tip and trick, just as a general usage, your arm's length, which is your knockback ability. Your anti-knockback, I suppose. That also is a mitigation.
I was really shocked when she said that because I
Yep. It's a 20% mitigation. Anything that touches you gets slowed by 20%. All of their auto attacks will do 20%. Like it'll take 20% longer for them to hit you. All of the casts will take 20% longer to cast. Outside of bosses, bosses are their own beast. But you want to use arm's length in dungeons because it'll slow down. You'll notice anything that hits you. I wonder if I can do that.
There are some monsters up here.
Throw it, axe at it. Awesome. Sure did. I'm gonna go poke it. Let's go see if I can poke it. Can I poke you? Okay, beautiful. So I'm gonna see if this will work on a caster. So I forgot to cast. Come on, is it gonna work? No, it's not. But interrupt these fuckers. You see the cast? See how it? Oh, didn't mean to kill him. The way that he's casting, that cast bar is the one that's interruptible. Okay, just we'll wait for them to respawn. But that color is the one that you can interrupt.
That's a BOB.
That's my little caster.
They do.
Hit arm's length. Right. See? See how he's just
Okay.
slow now?
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stunned him out of it.
All the attacks. 20% slower for that 15-second time period. Yeah.
I'm gonna try feint.
Oh, hey. So I'll show you the difference in the color. So target this earth spray. See that reddish orangish cast bar? That's interruptible. So if you want to go smack, actually it's gonna be hard to tell. That's a really fast cast. I'm gonna time it. It's stupid. But yeah, the red-orange ones are the ones you want to look out for. A lot of newer tanks in general forget that that's an ability. The importance of macros as a tank is also.
I'll have to wait for my cooldown.
Yeah, the importance of macros is cannot be understated when it comes to tanking. I have, like I said, for some of these defensive abilities that I can place on other people, like Nascent Flash as a warrior, I have macros set so that the one on my bar automatically targets the second in the list, which is usually my co-tank. So it helps heal my co-tank if they're the ones taking damage instead of me. I also have macros set up to every single, like beside everybody's name.
Is it like macro the name, username?
Nope.
Like that?
It's macro the number in the party list.
Ah, okay. Okay, I see it. So those are all your macros for now.
The other one is my shirk macro. Very, very big on having a shirk macro to target the second person in your list, because that is 99% of the time your co-tank. In this scenario, it isn't, because we aren't in a dude, right? But if it were, I've got the macro set up for my shirk to auto-select. So normally you would have to target somebody to shirk to them, and that would give them a portion of your aggro. With the macro, I don't have to auto-target second person. I don't have to do anything. All I have to do is be within range. It'll send the aggro over to them. A lot of what you're going to be doing in higher end content is going to be juggling a boss's aggro with your co-tank. So sometimes you'll encounter multiple, like multi-hit tank busters. Or there will be scenarios where maybe your co-tank dies and you need to give them aggro immediately after they respawn because a boss does a tank buster that targets the top 2 targets in threat. And if your co-tank doesn't have second threat, it's going to go onto one of the DPS and insta-kill them.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of knowing when to use shirk and provoke. I like to call it circle shirking. I have a macro specifically for it.
Huh.
And that shoots
So
aggro over.
Can I put like abilities or I guess put rotations?
Oh, you don't want a rotation.
Macro?
You do not want a macro or rotation.
Oh, okay.
So the problem with macroing a rotation is that the macros take time and they clip into each other. You can't use an ability too close to using a macro because it won't go off. The way that the macros work is really janky, which is why you'll see on my Shirk one, I have it use Shirk a metric fuck ton of times.
So it can just quickly just go and do it.
Yeah, so you want to queue up a bunch of those actions in between. If you try to macro a rotation, you're going to lose a bunch of damage because it takes time for the macro to activate in between each attack. If you're macroing like comms and stuff, it's different. They'll activate instantly. Like if you're typing it, like macros for typing in chat, you'll notice I can just pop this, boom.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't work like that for abilities. It needs to queue them up and then execute them, which takes an exponentially long amount of time. And the problem is, if you try to macro a combo, and then let's say you have to disengage from the boss, because a lot of fights will have you going in and out of attack range with bosses. Your macro is going to be useless then, because your macro still runs whether you're within range of the boss or not. So it's going to click an ability, and if it can't do that ability, it'll just queue up the next one after it, and it'll just keep running, so you're just going to end up breaking your combo. Yeah, don't want to macro that. Not great. Not very cash money. But yeah, I do a lot of macros. So like my TBN, I've got a TBN macro, Oblation macro, Arcarundum, Aurora, Intervention cover. I have my Nascent Flash macros actually covers Nascent Flash.
Yeah, all right over there?
I started typing into my map.
Yeah, hold on, chat.
Flash, TBN, Heart of Corundum, and Intervention. So this is a catch-all for every tank. You can toss stuff over to anybody. So yeah, really big fan of using that. At least for like helping in swapping aggro, to say the least.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want it to target other people in the party,
Hi, Sean.
In the little arrow brackets, the number of the person in the list. So 2 through 8.
Oh, the aggro on the list. Okay.
No, not even aggro. It's literally just who, like the order. So it counts like the order in the party list. So how they show up in the party list. You can also move people in the party list, but if you click their name in your social menu and then you hit the little arrow, you can sort them up and down.
What? Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we had to learn that for P8S. P8S, we had to learn that.
Oh, yeah.
That fight specifically, I've never had to do it for any other fight, but P8S, you had to do it in order to properly see everybody's debuffs. Yeah, so whatever order. So you notice how if you look at your party list, you see there's like a 1 next to your name, and then it'll be a 2 and a 3 and stuff. That's what it's referring to when you set up this macro.
Okay. I see it moving now. Okay. Controller's a little weird. It's just like you select the person's name and then move it up or down.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I have a controller, so much use.
Controller, you just select it with X.
I know so many cracked raiders that swear by controller. They the best Astro I know is just straight controller user.
Cool. Can I teach
It does feel more convenient.
Shoot.
What was that, Bonnie?
It does feel more convenient because I am on PC, but I just picked up the Xbox controller out of Reflex.
Yeah, that's again, all of the control. Well, Yeah, actually, even Spooky, they're all PC, and they plug the controller in and just go. It helps if you decided to purchase it on console because it is cross-platform, right? You can just go sit in your bed and you already know how to play on control.
I will say it's a bit of a pain to navigate the menus.
Yeah. That's one of the big
Oh,
turn-offs
with controller?
for me.
Yeah, because like you have to press specific buttons to navigate. Like I have to press. I'm on an Xbox controller, so I have to press select. And I guess for you it'll be like on PlayStation it'll be touchpad, and that toggles is like the tab button for us, and it flips between all of the sides.
There
to
is
go
a
out throughout the
thing.
UI. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There is a thing you can go in your gamepad settings. Hold on. Where is it? Gamepad. You can customize certain things like by pressing down. Like say you don't want to change into first person, you can change what that button is.
Oh.
So by pressing down on your right stick, if you don't go into first person ever, you can get rid of that. Like what I've seen a lot of people do is I've seen a lot of people change that one to face their target.
Ah, that makes sense.
Or you can have them execute specific macros. So if you have a macro set in slot 98 or 99, you can have press down on your right stick and it'll execute whatever macro is in that slot. Yeah, you have different things you can change them around. Same thing with your all of them. You can fully customize what each of these little things do within reason. And a lot of people haven't checked that out. Did Spooky or Licks or Session go over some helpful changes to your UI?
Yeah, I got a lot of it. The main one is getting rid of all of the explosions and stuff.
Oh yeah. The abilities and stuff that would be in character config.
One part of me misses it, but the other part of me is glad as all.
Yeah, I personally do control settings. I like mine on show. I show all of my own effects, but I show limited to everybody else.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I do.
I like my own effects. But if a fight is seeming too clustered, turn it down. Another thing I really like doing is going into your general and changing the colors of people's names based on their role.
Yeah, I had to change mine because I had DPS on red. I switched it to purple because red is evil to me, and I keep trying to toggle on my allies.
Yeah. That's fair.
So I changed it to purple.
So it makes it's way. I cannot tell you how helpful it has been since they released this to quickly identify who is who in a raid scenario. Like if you need to find a healer, you don't have to look in your list to find a name and look for a name. You just look for somebody with a green name. So I highly recommend changing those, and I also put people's jobs next to their names. It has been a huge help when it comes to raiding scenarios.
Oh, okay.
Oh, when you're free, I think I'm gonna need help with these monk buffs. I don't think I actually studied them because I got a new set of monk buffs.
Let me swap over to monk real quick.
And the latest thing I got.
These targeting dummies are still mad.
The latest thing I got was a Riddle of Earth.
Riddle of Earth is your. It's a mitigation. Unable to change. No. There we go. Yeah, so you'll get Riddle of Earth, Riddle of Fire, and Riddle of Wind. Riddle of Earth is a mitigation, so it reduces your damage by 20, reduces damage taken by 20%, and it will heal you over time. I don't know if you have that portion of it. As you get to a higher level, it'll give you more buffs.
I can activate it twice.
Like Earth's Rumination gives you Earth's Reply, which restores your HP and the HP of all nearby party members.
Oh, for AoE heal?
Yeah. So not only is it a mitigation on yourself and a heal over time, it will then also it has a secondary ability when you get to a high enough level that will AoE heal people in the party.
Oh, that's why I can activate it twice.
Yes. Riddle of Fire is a buff, and Riddle of Wind is also a buff. You want to use those in your 1 minute. You basically use them on fuck cooldown. Basically. The problem with Riddle of Wind is it is like a Dark Knight's Salted Earth, where it's on a 90-second. So your 2-minute windows will be funky.
It looked like Riddle of Fire has 60 seconds. Riddle of Wind
Riddle of Fire, you're
going
to use it every minute for every one of your 1-minute bursts.
And then Riddle of Earth's got the longest cooldown. I'm assuming it's because of the regen.
Yeah, the Riddle Earth is a mitigation, so that one I don't clump it together with Riddle of Fire and Riddle of Wind. Because Riddle of Fire and Riddle of Wind will increase your damage, whereas Riddle of Earth is your not die button.
Okay.
That is your button you want to press if you know damage is coming out and you don't want to die.
Okay.
Basically, important thing with Monk, oh, you don't have it yet, but you're going to get it soon. At level 70, you get the ability called Brotherhood. Brotherhood is a raid-wide buff. Anybody in your party within a distance will get Brotherhood active to them. This is what you line up all of your big hits with. Brotherhood, you want to do as many big hits as possible while under the Brotherhood window. It increases everybody's damage by 5%. It allows the opening of up to 10 chakra. A lot of monk stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, grants meditative brotherhood to self and all nearby party members, which is a 20% chance that you open a chakra when a party member successfully lands a weapon skill or casts a spell.
That's cool.
So basically, anybody who does abilities while you're using or while you have Brotherhood active will give you more abilities to hit.
Oh. So it resets my cooldown from y'all just playing the game.
Yeah, it helps you a lot. So every 2 minutes, you are popping Brotherhood. The only exceptions are if a boss is going to disappear and you know that the whole group is going to be holding all of their big hits, you hold your Brotherhood until everybody's doing all of their buffs at the same time.
Okay.
That's a huge thing. Huge thing with Final Fantasy's fight design is it's designed, or class design, I suppose, or job design. It's all designed around 2-minute combos and bursts. Every job has something that'll line up in a 2-minute, 3-minute, 6-minute. Like there's a rotation of things you need to do at that time. Big thing is learning consistency for every 1-minute burst and 2-minute burst.
Okay. This is just about all I play. I did pick up Machinist and Samurai just to have it, but I only played Monk.
Big fan of Samurai. I do a lot of Samurai.
Because when I started doing it, I thought it was
when
going to be
raiding.
like Monk. But I didn't know you get locked out of moves until it's available.
There are a lot of jobs that you're locked out of until you get to a certain point.
I mean, in terms of like when you're doing a combo, because I got spoiled by Monk.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's so sticker collecting. It's fun. Big fan of Samurai. If you ever want to know Samurai, you can come to me. I raid with this one actively.
I think I only have Samurai as a starter. Like I didn't do my jobs for that at all.
Yeah, it's I really enjoy it.
I didn't know they had so much AoEs too. I didn't expect that.
Yeah. I mean, they all have a good amount of AoE. To be honest, you just have to get them up in levels in order to acquire them. But a lot of, well, I guess they integrated it with a lot of jobs now, where most of their really big hitting combos will also apply an AoE.
Welcome back, Yada.
Thing with Samurai that a lot of people don't get intuitively is that if you just do one sticker, you will apply a damage over time. You'll put a dot on the target. You always want to have that dot up.
Oh.
It took me a minute to.
It's not
about that one.
intuitive.
Until
They
somebody in the
don't
dungeon told me
really
about it.
explain it when it comes to samurai, but a lot of damage comes from that dot, and it's one of the only dots in the game that starts off at a minute long. Most of the others are 30-second dots, and you just refresh them every 30 seconds, with the exception of Reaper, because Reaper you can double stack your dot, and it'll go up to 60 seconds.
Okay, I have
I love
a.
sticker collecting.
I have another question about Monk. I remember that I recently got a second set of glowing dots. It's like 3. I actually just glanced over it. I actually don't know what it does. I've only activated it once, and I think it was an accident.
Your second set.
Yeah, it's like the first ones you already get is like rabbit, dragon. I don't remember what that last thing is. Self. And then you get
Your
3
second
just
set
empty
might
rings.
be your beast chakras. Hold on.
Yeah, like I'm looking at
change
your
my
screen, but
hard
yeah,
layout
it's right there. You got your mouse right over it. It's right above it.
Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to. Damn it. I just like beast chakra.
Because I was just trying to figure out how to turn it back on. I thought it was combo specific.
Where's my beast chakra? They changed how Monk works since I last used it, so now my gauges are all out of whack.
Because usually I can just read the description and just guess from there. Because that's what I did with most of my moves. But this one, it kind of just threw me off. I didn't quite understand it.
More or less. Chakra gauge can line up nicely. Very OCD about the gauges. Oh, it lines up fine. Cool.
Yeah, the big 3 dots at the top.
The big 3 up top?
Yeah.
That one has to do with... Hold on. I'm gonna scrap it real quick. This one rear. Oh, and now that goes into your AoEs. Okay. That's what the AoEs are in. Your flank. Yeah, they did change it up a little bit, so now you just follow the glow, which is weird. It used to be completely free-flowing. I guess, yeah, they did do an update to... Okay, so they used to, they had an update. It used to be in, like, full free-flow. All of these buttons lit up.
Oh.
They no longer light up. So that build up an enlightenment that allows me to use begin. You like enlightenment. Do you have perfect balance? You do have perfect balance. Perfect balance allows you to hit whatever. So perfect balance, you're gonna use. Oh, I guess they did change that too.
I had perfect balance and true north.
And normally, where's my snap punch? So you hit this. Then you can hit a snap punch. It increases damage. So, and then you hit a snap punch. I guess that doesn't really increase anything. Then you hit another snap punch. It increases the amount of damage. So that built up. See how I... Oh, okay, so it's perfect balance stuff. So when you use your perfect balance, I did 3 coral form abilities. And that gave me the 3 fillers. So then I can use Elixir Field. And that gives me one of the dark circles next to it. If you were to use perfect balance again, and you did a different combo, so you actually went through the 1, the 2, the 3, it'll give you your Rising Phoenix. Now you have 2 separate ones. And build up a 3rd. So right now we're building up into another set here.
I got
full opener.
I gotta
right?
change
Boom,
something
you
on
do
my
it
screen.
again, and this one is. I'm gonna do. I think it doesn't matter which one. So if you do this again, you do your flank combos, your snap punch, and your demolish, and you hit another phantom rush.
What the? I don't have that one.
utilized all of those. But then you're also building up another gauge, which is another beast gauge.
Am I missing the moves to fill this up?
You may, because you're in the middle. You're level 64.
Right.
So they will give you more to fill up. Like you end up finishing another full combo set every 10 levels.
Oh, so that's maybe why I couldn't.
Right now, you have perfect balance. You're basically using your perfect balance casts. Hold on, let me reset this. So you go through your basic combo so you can build up your enlightenment hits. I need to swap this around because I don't need the AoEs.
That is an AoE.
That might be what I do today. Try to get the rest of my monk moves.
Yeah, your main thing is getting your perfect balances, building up your gauges at the top, and then as you go through your normal combo, you'll build up your other regular chakra, and your regular chakra you use on enlightenment. Now we start with your boot shine, true strike. Oh, and now I'm doing a different combo than what was up before. Interesting. It's probably because I started partway through. That's why. I already had stuff built from the previous that I wasn't paying attention to. I'm gonna build up our bars, so that one's full. And if you do one set of just Snap Punch Oppo Oppo, do Elixir Field, do another perfect balance, go through them all, do a Demolish, do a Rising Phoenix.
Yeah, I don't have that move.
Yeah,
I don't think I have
Enlightenment's an
Elixir Field
OGCE too, so you want to do that outside of your regular attacks. You'll do that in between as a weave.
For Monk, I gotta say, I've been trying to get like all the things to light up at once. Get that one move. I forgot
Perfect balance will. Perfect balance will give you your full light up, and that gives you your free flow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they really did simplify this a lot. It used to be incredibly freeform, and now it's pretty just follow the glowy buttons for the most part. There are weird, funny little interactions that some of these do. Like the fact that your Demolish increases the amount of damage your Snap Punch does, which is why you'll see me doing when I do perfect balance here.
Wait, Sean, you
it's
sub?
Why
Thank
I
you.
will do
Thank
a
you for the sub,
Demolish
Sean.
into a Snap
sorry
Punch
for taking
to
your
finish
lunch
off
money.
the full the coral hit into a Phantom Rush. So once you can get your first Beast Chakra type will give you Elixir Field. When you get your second Beast Chakra type, which is when you do a full 3 combo after your perfect balance, that fills up your two what are they called, Naughty or something like that? I can't remember. And then if you do another Demolish Snap Punch Demolish combo, it'll give you your Phantom Rush or a Rising Phoenix. I guess is another that might be the AoE variant. Your main goal right now is just to level it up. Every 10 levels, you'll finish off a combo set. It'll give you a different full set. At level 64 right now, you're missing something.
Okay.
So it's not going to make full sense. But that's your basic, like, if you're going to go into an opener, when you hit level 70, which is when you get your full combo set, they give you the ability Brotherhood. Brotherhood is going to be used in conjunction with your perfect balance stuff.
Yeah, I don't have that move yet. It's on my hotbar. It just says I never learned it.
Yeah, and you're gonna want to use these to line up with a 2-minute buff window. You want to make sure you have 2 about to be ready to go, and then a third one. Like you have 1 prepped, possibly 2 prepped on the way to your 2 minutes, and then have 1 about to be ready to use during your Brotherhood, so that you can get your big hits off all under the buffs that everybody's getting.
Okay. I didn't realize how much of a team player this character was. I actually like him more now.
Oh yeah, huge team player game. The funny thing about certain jobs are we call selfish jobs, like samurai. Samurai, incredibly selfish job because it gives no buffs to anybody.
Oh.
But in return for giving no buffs to anybody, the way it's supposed to work is it does massive amounts of damage. Samurai is a huge damage dealing job. So the fact that it gives no buffs to anybody is offset by the fact that if people give you buffs, your damage is ridiculously emphasized.
Okay.
Samurai thrives on big damage. So a lot of the times you'll see if there's a samurai in the party, the samurai gets the dance partner.
That makes sense.
Samurai, big damage. That's also scenario specific, because in like M6S, for example, one of the current raid tier fights, it involves ads. A lot of this tier has ads to deal with. Ads being like additional creatures, monsters that are showing up in the fight outside of just the regular boss. Viper's rotation is ingrained already in the regular rotation and in their burst that it just does AoE damage by default.
Oh.
So on top of doing their normal damage, they're now doing a ridiculous amount of increased damage because of all of the creatures they're hitting at once. So in those specific scenarios, you'll see things like Viper, things that can excel at doing damage to multiple targets. Those ones will be the ones who do the most damage. But in terms of single target damage, Samurai is pretty damn up there. Same thing with like Black Mage. Machinist is supposed to be. Machinist needs to see a little more love, I think, in the damage department. But Machinist is also selfish. Machinist doesn't have any buffs to give anybody. It has mitigations that it gives people, but it doesn't have any buffs that it gives anyone.
Oh, I picked up Machinist recently. I just wanted the gun. I didn't know I didn't have
Machinist
buffs.
is fun.
I still think
Machinist is
they're,
good.
like the strongest aiming class that we have, right?
I'd have to go and hold on. I'll let you know. I can go take a look at the numbers right now.
It does stink that Machinist starts at level 35.
I guess I just feel so bad for the Bard because I'm just like, bruh. But Bard's been getting good.
I like Bard,
but I like Bard too.
You get Bard through playing Archer,
wow,
right?
Bard was just. Sorry.
You get Bard through playing Archer, right?
Yes. At level 30, Archer turns to Bard.
Oh, it's not that high as I thought it was.
No, any of those previous ones are, like all the ones that require you to obtain a job stone are all level 30, I believe.
Okay.
Okay, Dancing Green, for example. Look at all job damage.
Because I started off as an Archer, because I actually random rolled my character stats. And so it rolled me onto Archer. And the first chance I got, I went to Monk. I was thinking to go back to it so I can get a guitar.
So right now, for Dancing Green, is a single target boss. Bard is doing better than Machinist. Machinist is the lowest. Oh no, actually, Machinist and Dancer are very close.
Whoa.
Dancer has a
Okay.
higher high, but a lower low.
I love my dancer.
Mind
That's like my
you, this
favorite
is all
aiming.
done by our DPS. Everything
Oh,
we do is our
okay.
DPS. If we're going on a DPS, which is just your solo damage output, solo damage output, Bard is the lowest.
Yeah.
The reason why Bard's high is because Bard thrives off of giving buffs to everybody else. Machinist
a long time ago.
is Machinist is above Red Mage and Summoner in terms of just strict damage.
Okay.
Yeah, you really want to look at how different jobs interact with each other, because most of what we like to look at is our DPS, which is like your overall raid contributed damage. Mostly. Summoner's not having a good time. Monk always eats.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Monk is great. If you can get really good at Monk is a very desirable job. In my static, we have a machinist. That is their bread and butter, is just machinist. And even though machinist is fairly low in terms of other jobs, there are oftentimes they're out DPSing a melee.
Ah, okay.
Just because they're so good at machinist, like they just robotic at this point.
Like the robot that they send out.
Yeah, exactly. Just like the queen. Yeah, my big recommendation for Monk: press your glowy buttons. Make sure you're hitting your positionals, because that's you'll lose a lot of damage if you're not hitting the boss in those proper positions for your snap punch and your demolish. Those are your main focuses right now. Once you get to 70, you can start learning how to do 2-minute rotations with a party, because then you're introduced to your own buff.
Okay.
A lot easier to visualize when you have this thing show up, and you can plan your abilities around it.
I do have a quick question on the samurai.
Yeah, hold on.
Their own little meditation thing that they got. You know, like how they hold up the sword and they're just kind of standing there. So, what does that buff, or does that pertain to a combo or a?
So meditation is for downtime. If a boss is jumping away for any reason, or if you have to disengage from a boss for any extended period of time, you use meditate, and meditate will give you stacks. So it'll give you stacks. I can't remember what the 3 little bars are. It'll fill up your Kenki gauge.
Okay.
So if I go to hit this boss right now, or hit the boss, hit the guy there. If I hit meditate, it's going to build up my Kenki gauge, and it's also going to give me meditate. Well, they are called meditation stacks, I guess. You would normally only get meditation stacks from completing Subawi Geishi combo, which is building up your sticker combos. But if you could sit there and meditate, you'll build up the stacks to be able to use Shoha just by itself, which is a very powerful OGCD. To use OGCD abilities, which is where a lot of damage for Samurai comes from. It allows you to use your meditation stacks. So anytime there's any sort of downtime, even if it's just for a couple seconds, if you need to back off and it's forced downtime, absolutely use meditate. It's always a gain. You want to build up as much gauge as possible for your buff windows.
Okay.
It's very there are a lot of fights that don't have downtime, in which case you wouldn't use meditate at all. It's very situational. But it is there to boost and to min-max if you want it.
Okay. That's good to know. That's good to know. I do have all the mostly mains on Samurai, and trying to figure out when to use that. I mean, it just never crossed my mind. But I use everything else, like even what you mentioned earlier about the damage over time that the samurai has. Yeah, pretty much I've been just pretty much casual with it.
pretty much any job that has a damage over time, you always want to maintain that damage over time. Same thing goes for any job that gives consistent buffs, like Warrior. You want to have that up at all times. You want to make sure that does not fall off. That would be your Storm's Eye.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, your Storm's Eye gives you a buff that increases your damage dealt by 10%. And you can refresh that to last up to 60 seconds. And every time you use Inner Release, while that buff is already up, it increases the time by another 10 seconds.
Okay, Inner Release. Okay.
Very, very important to keep that up. Your Inner Release is going to be your big damage that you want up every time you can use it. You want it used.
Hi, Mo Queen.
It is your 1 minute.
How are you?
Your 2 minute burst. Same thing with Paladin. Paladin is very rigid. In terms of you're gonna pop this every.
We are in a class for Final Fantasy, so we are learning the ins and outs of our characters, so we can be better at raids.
Do you have any other questions?
So far, so good.
No, I'm just
not
on these rotations.
I do have an opinion-based question.
Yeah, what's up?
So I wanted to like flex around just to help out, and I'm used to playing team-based shooters, so like I don't mind flexing. So the first question is, what is the easiest healer, so I can just have a healer leveled up?
Easiest to pick up healer is White Mage.
Okay.
Yes.
That is the fastest. Just pick up and use healer.
Okay. Now, what is the easiest tank?
Yep.
So easiest tank. Personally, I would say Paladin. It is the easiest to pick up and just be good at.
Okay.
There are some nuances with it, and there is some min-maxing on when to use your range versus your...
I guess I did that wrong.
But Warrior is also another beginner-friendly tank.
Okay.
The reason why I say Paladin over Warrior is because Paladin's rotation is strict. It is very... This is just what you're going to do every time. If you need to deviate from it, you can fix it based on the timings. But realistically,
yeah, I bet the Scholar classes is crazy.
Is the easier one because you don't have to you don't have to worry so much about being out of range of the boss, because half of Paladin's rotation is a ranged attack. Yeah, Paladin is like half casting, but instant casting. It's fun. It's fun how it works.
Okay.
Whereas with Warrior, you have to be in melee range for everything except for your ranged enmity ability, which is not a lot. But Warrior is the best in putting your health back. So I like to call it the best at reactive tanking, where if you're trying to learn a fight and you don't know what abilities are coming, Warrior is good at fixing when things go wrong with themselves. So say you don't know the big damage is coming out, or you don't know what is going to be big damage, you can put your health back if it does a lot more damage than you thought it would.
Okay.
Warrior is the one that brings in a lot of pure healing to itself. Whereas Paladin is thick in regards to, if you know a fight and is planned, it has a